Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another live stream with me, 320 Sim Pilot. Welcome back. It's been a few days since our last stream, and certainly over a month since we've flown the Beluga, so I thought it was about time we jumped into it. So today we are going to fly this lovely DHL liveried A320 600 ST Super Transporter, and we're going to take it from here at London's Heathrow over to Leipzig, where DHL have a base, a big base. In my mind, this is a realistic route, unusual for the stream. I know we often just make it up, so I'm hoping this is roughly realistic, which is why I thought I'd get away with a DHL livery. I saw this livery appear on the inibuilds forum, so it is available to everyone, of course, and I couldn't resist taking it out for a spin. It's quite something. I've seen a few comments about it already in the chat, so yeah, I I don't blame you for having your thoughts. It also made one of our brightest thumbnails, but we have used the Virgin Sun livery, which does use the same colours. So mix that with some neon pink, and it's yeah, you get the full 320 Sim Pilot channel effect on on those. So yeah, we're going to take some Airbus wings today for this one, and we're going to just cart them from here in Heathrow. I don't know, maybe they've come off a broken aeroplane and they need to go and be repaired a bit. You can see the previous people parking did a very bad job. Look at that, wheels nowhere near in the right place. Atrocious, no good at all. So yeah, it's been a little while. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm a big fan of this add-on, as you guys know. So jumping into the chat just to say hello, as ever, very active, so apologies if I miss anyone. But good to see you, Chickpoint Dougal. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming along. And yeah, no worries, of course, if you can't make it today. But good, it's great to have you here at the start anyway. Johnny Sunshine, Tom Corwin, good to see you guys. TJ 1900D, great to see you here. Richard V and Andy H132 and Victor Tango. Thank you all for coming along and moderating. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for all your efforts over all the time you've been moderating. Kai, good to see you as well. Arinator as well. Dave Geimer, Leo, I hope you're all doing very well. Mr. Espresso, good to see you. Thank you for coming along. And Anushka. Johannes B, good to see you again. Anthony, great to see you guys here. Thank you for taking the time out of your Sundays to come along. Kai says, hello, how are you? I applied to be Turkish VATSIM controller yesterday. Hopefully I can control Dalaman or Antalya soon, as well as flying the amazing Airbus. Fantastic, Kai, thank you for letting us know, and hopefully that works out. Yeah, brilliant. I'm sure you'll be fine, and yeah, that would be great if we'll do some more Turkish flights. We've done a couple, and we've got plenty more to go and visit in Turkey. Yeah, big country. Fantastic. Retro, good to see you. Yeah, you joined us just in time. Stephen is working late this evening. We'll look forward to watching you back later. No worries, Stephen. We'll see you later. Lauren V, good to see you. Lauren V says, any holdies concerned about the lack of pressure today? Manta 28 left. Lima is parked across the runway with its bulk doors open. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty crowded cargo floor, unpressurized as you guys know, but heated, so you'll be warm. We are going to go all the way up today to 35,000 feet. We're going to push the performance of the Beluga a little bit, go up to a sort of new normal cruising level. Pavel, good to see you. Pavel says PMDG should release a DC6 from Microsoft Flight Simulator in June. Will you give it a try? Oh yes, I will. Absolutely. I didn't realize it was coming that soon. I look forward to that. Yeah, absolutely. June, not long at all, eh? So yeah, definitely. Danny Rubel, thank you so much for your $2 donation. Really appreciate it, Danny. Danny says, looking forward to the flight. By the way, I think it's going to be hard to get nobody spoilering F1. Let's hope. Yeah, hopefully. I put a little message at the top. So just in all of our best interests, I know a lot of you will have watched it, but please do, if we can avoid talking about Formula 1, or certainly avoid giving any spoilers for today's race. So it's best just if we avoid it for today, just because it's not shown live in the UK on any of the normal channels. You have to pay a subscription for it, which I don't. And I appreciate that that's my fault, but I'd really appreciate if you guys could do the best. And I know I'm not the only one these days. I know a few others of you won't have seen it yet, so yeah, I hope we can stick to that. But thank you, Danny, for your $2 donation. Thanks for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. Leo has a first officer Chihuahua. Excellent, Leo. And Alex UK, good to see you. Right, I've already overrun on the hellos. Anonymous and non-anonymous, good to see you. Hopefully see you for next time. And yeah, Danny Rubel and Fly Sky Airways, great to see you guys. And Matteo Chewy, wow, excellent, thank you so much. Good to see you all coming along. And Takis is in Crete, windswept today in Crete. Well, don't worry, the UK is windswept and cold and raining, so you're definitely beating us here. Right, it is time to jump into the aeroplane, I think. So yeah, let us go and have a look at the interior. It's completely cold and dark. You know, it's not a long flight today. Flight time about 1 hour 20, so we can take our time setting up a little bit. I haven't touched this add-on since we last flew it, so this is rare for me. I usually try and go back into the sim and have a practice run. So first of all, let's get the loader underway, and then we'll power up the aeroplane. So we're loading up some Airbus wings. Let's request loader. and it will appear in front. That's why I chose this stand. We're on stand 609. I'm not sure if there's any VATSIM here. Yeah, it is a typical British Summer Victor Tango, exactly. This is one of the worst I've seen for a little while now. Not too happy about it. Santiago Perez, good to see you. Thank you for coming along. I hope you're doing very well. Right, let us jump into the checklist. I do have my sort of abbreviated checklist with me. If I just put it in the right place where I can actually see it, that would help. And we're going to have batteries. So let's zoom over. A lot of overhead panel work to start off with. Batteries are up here, checked. And you can actually check them over here on the electrical panel, I believe. If I was smart enough. Yeah, DC voltage, there you go. Yep. The old school way. Nice liquid crystal displays for us these days. Batteries are all coming on. Hydraulic panel is checked. Wiper switches are most certainly off. Don't want to scratch those windscreens. Gear lever down. Slats flaps handle in agreement, so that's at 0 and that's at 0 up there. Now hopefully the simulator is a bit louder for you guys today. I've adjusted the audio a bit, so fingers crossed you guys will get the more noise of the airplane, but let me know how it is. Let me know if ATC is too loud and we'll adjust it as required. Anyway, reverser handles are down. You can see those there, but they are down. It always does that with the speed brake, I don't know why. Reverse handles are down. Fuel levers are both off. Weather radar is down here, and let's just check that it is indeed off. Yes, it is in the middle with this hopeless little switch. I don't like it, it's too small. It's the same on the 320. I wish it changed at some point. But there we go. External power, establish. Let's see if we can get some external power on. Do we have one available? It would appear here. We do not. Let's go and request that from the ground service. Return. I'll have external power, please. There it is. Clunk. External power coming online. Ben, good afternoon. Thanks for coming along. Hope you're doing well. Great to have you join us today. Yep, this will not be everyone's figure of beauty, this airplane, I can imagine. Yep. Right, external power established. APU fire system test. All looking good to me. There it is. And the squib test. All good. So APU as required. Let's get it powered up. Don't want to embarrass ourselves. So simply master switch on. A little bit of low pressure. And then we'll press start. That's a lot of warnings. Maybe it's time I actually check those. Yeah, it's all the doors opening up above us, I'm assuming. So APU should be accelerating, and we will see it over here on the eCam. If I go to, yeah, the door pages automatically come up. APU, it's firing up. That's good. EGT's rising. That's what we want to see. IRS mode selectors to nav. Back on the overhead panel. Where have they gone? They are hidden. There's one more. Nav. Great stuff. ISDU set. Oxygen low pressure supply. That's the pilot's oxygen. We'll turn that on. Enunciator lights test. Love a good enunciator light test. That way. Loads and loads and loads. And VHF radios as required. We will tune those accordingly. But I'm going to start with 1228. Now there is a London controller. So any of you who might be flying along, I know a few of you possibly are. Let's go check our progress of our cargo. Yeah, does anyone know if we should expect to see should I speak to London Control? Richie Rees, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. I hope you're doing very well. Yeah, so does anyone know? Is anyone going to be talking to London Control today? I'm not sure about that one. There's no Heathrow Control. London there's a London West Centre, so I don't know. London Control does not cover us. Thanks, Lauren V. No problem at all. I knew you guys would know the answer. Now this is one of the more impressive cargoes. Look at the size of it. 320 wings they are. Just squeeze in. Yeah, it's just London West. Oh, Lauren's already queried. Thanks, Lauren. Yep, excellent. Alex, good to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. If you do enjoy the stream, do please hit the like button. It makes a big difference to the channel. Really appreciate it. Right, there we go, loading on. We can also, well, we'll let that carry on for a little bit, and let's finish setting up the airplane a little bit more. So we can go into the FMS, and we can initialize it. So, to do this, I'm actually going to jump down here into our little radio management panel, effectively, or a version of it. And you're going to watch me struggle for a few seconds while I panic as I try to remember exactly how I do this. Company routes, we just press that. I've got my username in there. And hopefully, there it is. It's all loaded in. So that's dead easy. And it wants us to align the IRS. Align, please. We'll go back to tune. Tune. There we go. Right. So there's the route. GPS primary. That's all very easy. I think I've got it set to do it a little bit quicker. The alternate today is going to be Copenhagen, Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. There we go. Right, anyway, we're not supposed to do all of that just yet. We're just doing our initialization. No smoking seatbelt signs, not applicable today. We're not worried about those. Hydronic power and panel set check. So we have quantities. We've got low pressure lights, and that is all fine. There's not a whole lot to do there. Fault lights we would expect. Iris is aligned. Moving down to this panel, we'll put the strobes to auto, the nav lights on. And I think that's all we'll need for now. Then we'll put on the ATS. Yaw dampers. We don't need the galley to shed. And the APU gen should be online. The APU is available, so we can actually get rid of that ground power unit. Otherwise, all looking pretty sensible over here. Let's come down here. APU off. Where are the lights for the overhead panel? I feel like it's hidden somewhere, and I'd like to show you guys a bit better. Oh, it's this one, isn't it? Bright, 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 bright. There we go. Yeah, strange place for it, but I suppose as good as any. Now the fuel. How much fuel do we require? So let's jump into the chat. I say chat, the tablet, sorry. And fuel required. We need a lot of fuel for this one. It's going to be a thirsty, thirsty flight because our trip fuel is 6.3. Our alternate fuel is 4.3. So that's quite a lot. So we need 15 tons with the ton taxi fuel out of Heathrow. So I'm going to go for 16 tons of fuel, which actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We got 16 tons of fuel. So that's all good. Get all these pumps on. We don't like seeing white lights. That was lucky. Why have we got 16 tons of fuel? Strange. Oh well. I know we've had some interesting fuel situations on this airplane, so fingers crossed this one works. You guys will warn me, I'm sure, if I've messed something up there. Probe heat. Let's have that on. Let's have the window heat on. Pressurization we will check when we get going. We're going to need to close up the door. We're on the correct system. That's all looking good. Emergency exit lights can be armed, and if you bleed air, let's have that on. Let's get a bit of airflow in here. Packs to 1. Let's try pack 2 today. Don't see why not. Temperature all looking good. Pack temperature's all fine. And ventilation panel is all good and checked. Right. Let's have a look. Heathrow is in the London South area, so it's covered by London South or London South and Central. Right, thanks very much, Moku. Alex, thanks very much. Thanks for the sub button. I really appreciate it. Very kind. Anushka, good to see you. See you next time. Thanks for coming along. Ah, it's Heathrow grounds. Perfect. Right, I'm just going to get rid of this yoke. There we go. Right. Let us move along and turn on some more lights, obviously, and sort out the rest of the panel. That's the overhead panel done. And we'll move along here. Where's the switch for this one? Right. Altitude select. So the departures out of Heathrow we know are up to about 6,000 feet typically. So we'll put 5.9 in until we get our clearance. We're going to sort out the rest of this. I'll have constraints. Flight directors are already on. Don't want FPV. There we go. We'll have it in nav mode. All looking good. Otherwise, we will set up the rest when we get tuning. Let's grab the QNH. Oh, they set up an ATIS now then. They may have done. Heathrow's got an ATIS. I'll just read it out to you guys as always. So we've got information Gulf now at Heathrow. Using 27 right. Oh, bit of a taxi. We're going to have to cross over 27 left as well. And it is a wind of 210 at 13. Light rain, obviously. Temperature 12. I mean, imagine this. This is the actual weather in London. 2.6. QNH 1006. Very importantly, that's information Gulf. So, yeah. Miserable. That is a shame, isn't it? Right, let's get that QNH down. 1006. Can I zoom that across like in the 7.5? No, I don't think I can. So, that's one over there. 1006. Oh, I think I've synchronized them actually. Hey, excellent. 1006. That's all good. So, Information Gulf, Richie, is just the name they give, so it is called Information Gulf. Right, let's go and load on. Let's just go and check on the progress. Well, the airplane is pretty much powered up. Very nearly ready to go. We'll close up these stairs down here because we're not planning on getting off again. So they can close up. Good. And let's go and check that these wings get put on. Go and turn the lights on for the hold. Is that one? There we go. Lights, lights, lights. That's better. And here they come. Yeah, we're over at the big cargo terminal on the south side of Heathrow for today. I figured that would be the best place to start from. Give us the best chance of fitting somewhere with the loader. That is the problem. Only problem with trying to use a loader on this add-on is that you have to constantly find a stand that has nothing in front of it, and even this is a little bit dodgy, but there we go. Right, so what we're going to do now is we'll go back in, we'll finish up the MCDU, have a look through the last of the switches and check some of the big ones, and then we'll be moving on pretty much to our engine start. I really like this plane. It's very nice, very simple to get set up and running once you get a little bit used to it. Sadly, no live animal cargo today, Richie Rees. Yeah, not today. Aviation TV UK says, is that British Airways building? Yeah, this is that big cargo terminal on the south side of Heathrow. Oh, good. We couldn't stand here, could we? I assume no operators stand here while they do this, or you'll be at risk. This is a seriously big structure to be cramming in here. There we go. They have managed. So, we've swallowed our lunch, our dinner, whole, and we're going to go and take it over to Germany. That is impressive. Even where it's going to close around the front there, the wing routes. Very cool. Very cool. I do like this. Yeah. Great. Right, so, yeah. We'll press load. So now remove loader. And let's carry on with our setup. So we've done the QNH. Right, some other things we need to do then. Let me just check I'm not missing anything on the panel. We've done the FCP. We need to make sure that our anti-skid nose wheel steering is on. Landing elevation for Leipzig. Should have checked that earlier. You guys know I'm terrible for remembering to do that. Really quite bad. We're going to Echo Delta Delta Papa. 461. Yep, so we need to set something. About 450 feet, so that can go in there. Hello, Trista. Thanks for coming along. Brandon, good to see you. No, it's a 320 wing, I believe. 320. I don't. Or is it 380? They look a bit big to be a 320, I suppose. Yeah, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed dinner, Andy. Good to see you here. Flying for Fun says, I wonder if Airbus is going to sell the 5 original Belugas when they phase them out. Yeah, because number 1 has been retired, sadly, I saw recently. So yeah, we're down to 4, I suppose, original Belugas, as they start to use the full-size ones. Oh, the XL version now. A380 wing doesn't fit in any of the Beluga variants. Okay, there you go, Miku says. Yeah, no, I thought it wasn't. Right. Yeah, let's close that. So we're done. RMI, PFD, ND, altimeter, IBSI, ADF, EGPWS, clock, metric altimeter, standby altimeter, and horizon, brake pressure, alternate braking, parking brake, auto brake switches. So many things to check. Here's our landing and warning test we can do just for our own amusement. Otherwise, we're looking reasonable. We'll have constraints over here on the FO side. Otherwise, set up the same as us. Let's get some lights on there just to make it look a bit more even, and we can press the terrain button to display it for them. I will have no terrain. I'll have the weather radar because there are some CVs and that 80s as we saw. Right. Any buttons that we want to adjust down here? Weather radar is off. We can do a takeoff config test, make sure that works, which it does, which is good news. Yeah, I think we're getting there. It'll be just time to sort of pick out our departure. So we'll talk to Heathrow soon. Brake fans we don't need. Speed brake handle retracted, disarm. Takeoff warning check. Fuel levers are off. Warning systems emergency cancel. Safe tide. ATC transponder TCAS are set. Oh yeah, good point. So ATC is in standby 2000. That's absolutely fine. That's what we want. Rudder trim is at 0. It is indeed. Weather radar test. Well, I'm not testing it. I've never seen that before. And yeah, interesting one. I wonder what that actually involves. I wonder what the weather radar would do. We are on VATSIM indeed. Aviation TV UK. And TRP set, which we'll do a bit later. And then it's the before start checklist. So, whilst they remove the loader, and before we close the door, let's just check through this one. So, data, we have done init A, here we go. So, Heathrow to EDDP, also to Copenhagen, Costinex 25, flight level 350. Costinex won't matter because we can't use VNAV. And we're going to be Eurotrans 276, which is the first time I think we've been Eurotrans, I think. Oh, I might get that wrong. Flying for Fun says, I like to put my weather radar on nice and early to microwave the ground crew. Yeah, exactly, yeah. We have to be careful. We don't want to accidentally turn it on, especially facing with staff beneath the airplane. And for us here, pointing at a big metal building, which will reflect it right back at us, so that would not be good. Flight plan then, so we will basically get our clearance. I know roughly what it's going to be though, because they're using runway 27 right. So I'm actually going to put that in now. 27 right, and we were going to go out by Brooklands Park. Insert. Hopefully that appears on here. Zoom out, plan. There it is. Excellent, Brooklands Park, 6,000 feet, but we'll just adjust that when we get our clearance. If I scroll through, this matches correct 295 to Brain, and then we've got Mike 197 to Redfur, which takes us basically towards Amsterdam. Then we go into Thatcher, Norta, Admos, then Tango 959 to Kojak, which is the start of our arrival into Leipzig. Excellent, so that's all done. Secondary, we're going to copy the active. Nothing too exciting to do in there, except we're going to return back in. Radnav will tune ourselves, so it's time for the init B page. Alright, here we go. This is a bit of a mental gymnastics for me, trying to do this one. Right, let's have a go. So, get rid of external power, get rid of the chocks, and now let's go to the ground ops. Load sheets. Okay. Marlo, good to see you. Yeah, if you subscribe, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the stream. Checkpoint says it is mandatory by ground crew to turn on the weather radar when the temperature is below 0. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're powerful enough to warm you up anymore, but yeah, it would be nice. Airbus fuselage. 99.1 tons of fuel weight. Interesting. Fuel on board, we've got 16.0. And the CG... 30.2, which is probably 0 fuel CG, and then we can send that to Takeoff performance. Let me just check what other numbers I need. So we are taking off at, where is it written? Is it written anywhere? This is I do find this really hard in my mind. So 99.1 minus 16 would be, sorry, plus 16. So it's going to be 115.1. Tons for takeoff. Pretty heavy. Marlo, we're in the A300-600 ST, otherwise known as a Beluga. Okay. Yeah, let's send that to takeoff perf. Let's... What does MFC data do? No, that's not going to work. EGLL. 27 right. 8-ish requests. It's got 114.7, and that is wrong. We've got the Airbus. Oh yeah, good point. We've got the Airbus wings, although it's a very luckily similar weight. So yeah, we'll go with this one. A couple of tons out is, well, 1 ton out even. Not even 1 ton. Shouldn't make too much difference. But yeah, good spot. Good spot. Right, so there we go. So it's got 127. Anti-ice off. Runway is actually raining, so I'm going to put wet. It's 12 degrees. It could drop 2 degrees as we climb away. It's a bit iffy. Some people might put the anti-ice on. I think it's going to be okay. We'll go config 15 and 0. Nice long runway. Air conditioning can be on. It's only got 1 little pack running. I'll do a standard flex takeoff. Let's see what happens then. Compute. Okay. So flexing at 58. So we set that up in the TRP. Flex. 58. This isn't automatic, so we have to swap the phases, so do please remind me because I'll probably forget. Total air temperature plus 12 outside, that's all looking good. And then we'll go and check the little card down here. Oh no, it's not there. We need to press send data FMS, send data to card, and we need to put the V2 166 up in the speed window. That's a pretty fast V2, but we're not using any flaps. We're going to exploit that massive great runway. 166 knots. There we go. 162, 164, 166, flex to 58, 58, 62, 64, 66. Clean speed, 199, so we can go 200 knots clean, no problem, even if we have to do the sharp turn. Company data's gone into here, so let's put the block fuel of 16.0 into there. 0 fuel weight was... Oh, I knew there was one thing I'd missed. What is the weight difference? Yeah, it's a couple 100 kilos, so it won't matter too much. 0 fuel weight was 99.1. Gives 140.7. There we go. Could have just done that. 2.2 final reserve time and an extra 1.2. Excellent. All looking good. So that is init B and performance done, because that's all we can do in this one. I think. Make sure. Reference we've done. Yeah, okay, all good. Right. There we go, guys. So that's loaded up. We just need to get our clearance and then get our pushback. So let's call up. Oh, let's close the doors actually. I think. Oh no, they've already closed it up for us. We're on the APU. Excellent. So let's get the.
Ground to cockpit.
Tide connected.
Driving up.
Simon, thank you very much for your $9.74 donation. Really appreciate it, Simon. Simon says, a Sunday really starts to feel like a proper Sunday when we're seeing you setting up your airplane and are close to pushback. Have a pleasant flight and thank you for the stream and constant learning we can take from the streams for our sim experience. Simon, that's really kind. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you've been enjoying the streams and the videos. And yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoy me filling up your Sunday evenings. But thank you so much. Really kind of you. And yeah, really appreciate it. I hope you're doing very well, and thanks for supporting the channel. Really very kind. Oh, we still don't have an updated better pushback. I should do that. It is indeed Angry Brian, as Andy says, absolutely. But yeah, thank you, Simon. Thank you for that really kind donation, and thanks for supporting the channel. So we need to tune into Heathrow. So let's see, they are now on.
Okay, all doors and hatches are
1217.
closed, ready to connect.
And we have our checklist. Checklist. So before we start checklist, cockpit prep is completed. Fuel quantity, let's just double check. We've got our 16 tons. Takeoff data is set both sides. Yes. Man thrust it's saying, but that's fine, I believe. Flex 58, yeah, okay. Landing elevation is set 450. Altimeters are 1006. Brake anti-skid is norm and on. Windows and doors are closed. Oh, this is why we have checklists. Oh, look at that. Even the lights reflecting on the bottom of the wing. Let's turn off those lights. And let's close up the door. Otherwise, this could get a little bit embarrassing. Because we won't pressurize. And slam this one shut. Where is it? That one. Nope, that's the toilet. That's not going to help. Where's the door gone? There it is. Close, please. There we go. So this is the only pressurized part. For those of you who haven't seen this plane before, this area is not. It's the only pressurized part of the airplane, and the rest of it is unpressurized. But it is heated. Right, great stuff. Okay. Now let me see. Cockpit is close to the ground, flying for fun indeed. Yeah, it's quite a strange setup. It's just so unique. Great fun. This will continue to be an iconic airplane, in my opinion anyway. Certainly for me. So, windows and doors we've closed. Next will be beacon and parking brake. Let's talk to Heathrow. Now, I haven't heard anything, which usually means I've done something wrong. Yep, I have. I haven't set up the receiving audio properly, so we need to listen. There we go. I think that's got it. 1217. And
Heathrow Director, good afternoon. Manta 28 Lima holding short status.
Hey, we got a Manta out there. Excellent.
28 Lima, contact Director 119725.
Nope, I'm sorry, I forgot to hit switch. Thanks a lot.
I've got to think of everything I need to say. We've got golf. Heathrow ground, good afternoon. Eurotrans 276 stand 609, Airbus A320 600 ST with information golf request clearance for Leipzig.
Eurotrans 276, hello, clearance is Leipzig via the Brookmans Park 7 Foxtrot departure, the squawk 6232.
Good, Leipzig via Brookmans Park 7 Foxtrot departure, squawk 6232, Eurotrans 276, and we are ready.
Eurotrans 276, readback is correct. Stand 609, push and start approved, facing east.
Push start approved to face east, Eurotrans 276.
Discovery's 171, contact Director 119725,
Right.
bye-bye.
Director 119725.
Is this going to work? I'm doing it through my little radio panel.
Manta 217,
Yes, it is 6232 is the squawk, 6232. Let's put that to... That's a bit annoying, it does cycle the wrong way. We'll go out off for now, must remember to change that, do remind me guys. We're going to stop at 6,000 feet, and we were cleared for the Britain's Park 7 Foxtrot, which hopefully is what we have here at the start. Oh, that's funny, it doesn't take you back to the start of the flight plan. Britain's Park 7 Foxtrot is what we've got there, just to show you what we're going to do. For anyone wondering, is we're going to close that. Let's go back to Heathrow. And we are going to depart on the British Park 7 Foxtrot. Here we go then, so let's tune a couple of these navs. I should have done this already. We've got the London VOR 1136 to start with. This one tunes the INS, COM 1 and COM 2. That's strange. How do we tune...
124, just check the squawk please, 5015.
Okay. Question for you guys then. We obviously haven't spent too much time tuning VORs in this add-on. Why won't it let me tune them? I'll put that to VOR, will it allow it? Oh, there it is. No, so let's put that back to nav. Okay, we want 1136. Or not. Nope, it won't have it. Got to be on VOR mode. Interesting. Well, we're not going to bother with that. We're going to leave it in nav. But as a backup, we have that. If we need it, we'll tune London and then move over. Basically, straight ahead 3 miles, then make a right turn out to 6 miles towards Burnham NDB. Then make our right turn 053 to Chiltern, and then another right turn to Britain's Park. A lot of you will recognise this one from my tutorial on departure charts. Right. Okay, well, we are cleared for push and start. So let's go through our flow. So those thrust levers. So again, as I just move a few things around my desk to make sure this works. Thrust levers are indeed at idle. Let's get that beacon on. We've done the transponder. I'll start the clock when we're going. We're going to push back. We're currently facing south. We need to face east. So our nose is going to go to the left.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Let's go and block the runway.
So
there we go.
And bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Brakes released. Where's the clock? Where's the clock?
Pushback and you may start
It's over here. No, it's not. It's here. Right. Run. Is that working? Can't tell. Doesn't look like it's working. Don't really want the chrono. I want the elapsed time to run. Let's see if that works. It does it in minutes. Right. Very good. Yeah, it is the annoyed pushback guy. Indeed. Thanks for coming along. Good to see you here. Thanks for the like, everyone. Glad you're enjoying the live, Lucian. Thanks for coming along. Right, engine start then. Area is clear to start. Yes, it is indeed. All clear arounds. Hopefully no one... Well, they would be landing on 27 left because 27 right is in use for takeoff, although at the moment Heathrow, of course, down to 1 runway. So area is clear to start. Let's do the ignition selector to... A. You hear the pack automatically turn off. Isn't that nice and simple? Engine 2 start switch. Press starting number 2 then. That goes open. Get some spinning. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Again, guys, I'm hoping you guys get a bit more noise from the flight, so do let me know if that's working or not working for you. ATC is a little bit quiet for me, so I may adjust that. 20% N2, providing fuel. Fuel flow's gone up. There's EGC rising, and ignition. I might just turn up the volume of ATC for myself. Sounds fine, so checkpoint, excellent. They are slow engine starts. These engines are also really slow to stabilise on takeoff. 32, good to see you. 32 says, made it, but for how long, don't know. Instant cut out 3 times today so far. I also live in the 21st century. Yeah. Oh dear, 32. Well, hopefully you managed to join us for a bit of it.
Bravo, link 28, left alpha, hold.
Right. I do like this livery. I think it looks pretty cool. I'd love to have seen the Beluga become sort of a standard thing. But I suppose the big problem is, what would DHL do with it? It can't carry all of that in weight, so that unless they're flying around, you know, toilet paper or something, it's not really going to be worth it. So yeah, it's just for oversize as opposed to lots of. Right, let's start the other engine then. Number 1, open. Spinning around. Ed Hassan, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Ed says, late to the party tonight. Just got back from a weekend at the in-laws. They live on the flight path to Holden, where the Beluga flies over twice a day. Never saw it once. Ah, that's a shame. But yeah, thanks for coming along, Ed. I hope you had a good time. Appreciate you joining us today. There's 20% N2. Fuel coming on. Phil Norbeck, thanks so much, Phil, for your $20 donation. That's incredibly generous, Phil. You've looked after us a lot. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's push back complete. Parking brake is set. And on to the last part of the start. Thanks so much, Phil. Phil says, apologies, haven't watched since Feb due to work. We're back to normal now. Looking forward to more great videos and streams. Love the BA146 videos. I'm glad you like these videos, Phil. Yeah, the 146 is going to have to get a few more outings on the channel for sure. I'm running a little bit behind as ever on videos. Oof, that was a bit of an electrical changeover. But yeah, thanks so much, Phil. That's incredibly generous. Thank you for your $20 donation. Really appreciate it. And I hope you're doing very well. And yeah, no need to apologise. No one ever has to apologise for missing streams. It's just they're there if you want them, and we always appreciate it when you come along. But yeah, thanks so much, Phil. Really, really generous, really kind. Thank you. Dave says, wow, that livery flying banana. Yeah, pretty much. So the ground crew are disappearing. That engine has started and that's gone back to close. So the ignition off. APU bleed off. APU master. Let's just check the generators are all on before I do anything stupid. Yep, go off. Anti-ice not required. Speed brake arm. And rudder trim reset at 0. There we go. This is cool. I do like this. If I put some trim, you can hold it down, then go flash it back to 0. There you go, the ground crew. I'm assuming the wave will be in the wrong place. There it is. Always behind that pillar in these add-ons. Always, always, always. But there's the wave. So we are all good. And slats flaps, we're going to set those for takeoff now. So we're going for 1 stage, which will be slats to 15, flaps at 0. Yeah, thank you again, Phil. Really appreciate it. Really kind donation. So we should see some slats popping out of the wings. There they go. Pilot Stud, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. Pilot Stud, another YouTuber. Got lots of different aircraft and videos and so on. Mostly Microsoft Flight Simulator, I believe. Right. Oliver likes the DHL livery. Thanks, Oliver. I'm glad you liked it. I couldn't resist it when I saw it. Somebody put the effort in to make it, and if anyone was going to fly on a stream, I knew it would have to be me. Right, so that is all done. Not bad, eh? We're about 40 minutes and we've pushed back, but we have a long taxi to come. In fact, this could have been a single engine taxi day, but we could be a bit heavy for that. So trim set for takeoff. Great question. I just realised, have I looked this up? Trim 1.1 down. Thank goodness. There we go. 1.1 down. Right, after start checklist. Pitch trim is set, rudder trim 0, spoilers arm, slats flaps 15 and 0. It's going to be a long takeoff roll. ECAM status checked, anti-ice off, hand signal received. So we are all good to go. Exciting times, let's get taxi. Eurotrans 276 request taxi.
Eurotrans 276 taxi via Sierra, hold Sierra 4 whiskey.
Via Sierra, hold Sierra 4 whiskey, Eurotrans 276. Right, we're on Sierra 4 whiskey, so that gives me a suggested crossing would look something like this, over and then up this side. So let's get going. I might leave this out and you guys can keep track of me because this is an easy place to get it wrong. Right, nose to taxi. I think so we're going to need... Oh, it's turn off. Let's release the brakes, and away we go. Fantastic to hear the all the mantas out there. Let's try and make that a little bit miniature. There we go. That'll work out. Alexander Beck, I hope you're doing well. On 2-week holiday. Enjoy, Alexander. Thanks for coming along. I hope you're doing well. I am working on DCS. I promise. I promise. I promise. It's as ever, as I always say, taking me a little bit of extra time, but yeah, can't wait to try out that mission in the new update. Right, let's do a little brake check. Brakes work. I just didn't seem to deflect, just a little bit. Oh well, that'll do. 6232, just checking my squawk in case that was us he was talking to.
Lufthansa 17 Alpha
Nope,
via
all good.
Sierra 7 cross 27 left. Report
Right.
vacated.
Alpha, good to see you.
Right,
Thanks for coming along.
Alpha.
I'm doing very well. I hope you are as well. Darren, no, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming along.
Follow the British Airways A320s, just taxiing on Alpha now.
Follow the Airbus British Airways.
Right. All good. Let's do a flight control check now. Oh no, it doesn't do it automatically. Disaster.
053, stand 355. Push and start approved, face north.
No, not that one. There it is. Right.
Ground, good afternoon. Air France 101 is at stand 363, type A320 with hotel. We'd like clearance to Leipzig. Air France 101, roger, your clearance is Leipzig via the Brookmans Park 7 Foxtrot, squawk 6474.
Well, we've got a really interesting issue here, guys. Let me just have a look.
Brookmans Park 7
I don't have control over the flight controls, which I'm a little bit surprised at. Especially strange, considering I do have control over the spoilers. Well, that's why we do flight control checks. First time that's happened. What is going on here? What can I think? I feel like I've seen this before. Very strange. Very strange. I don't want to. If I go into settings, it would disconnect us from VATSIM. But maybe if we're here, I think we're out on our own. I don't think it'd be too much of an issue. Well, we're not blocking anyone. Stand by, guys. Let me have a quick think. It's the parking brake. Yeah, that was the old. That was the problem in the old CRJ. Let's think. Let's think. I'm sure we've had this. I'm sure I've had this and I've solved it. I can do a little switch on and off. When that happens to me, I unplug and plug in the USB and it works. Okay, let's try that whilst moving. So we've got a flight plan for you. Just check you've got the right flight plan and right frequency. Got throttles back. That's the yoke.
Apologies, all frequency is 93.
It's bizarre, and what's really strange is that I've actually got the control of the control of everything else with that stick. I've never seen it be quite like this before. Let's just have a quick. Let's bring it to a stop here. Let's tell traffic control. And Heathrow ground Eurotrans 276. We've got a slight issue. Are we okay to stop here for just a couple of minutes to resolve it?
Eurotrans 276, no problem. Just call me when you're ready.
Okay, Eurotrans 276. Excellent. So that's what you do. Just tell traffic control. Be honest. Don't get yourself out near the runway blocking things. Right. Let's have a go. Let me have a go. What is going on? Oh, I know what's doing it. I figured it out already. I'm very happy with that. Let me just get rid of that. Yeah, we have it back. So what it was is I use an Xbox controller for my... well, let's get taxiing, I'll tell you guys. And Eurotrans 276, luckily it's resolved, so ready for taxi.
276, roger, continue taxi, hold. Sierra 4 Whiskey.
Continue Sierra 4 Whiskey, thank you, Eurotrans 276. Good, brakes released, let's get going. Right, yeah, flight control check, full left, full right, neutral, full down, full up, neutral, and we can do our rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Yes, I have had that before, and it's the Xbox controller, and it really upsets. This add-on seems in particular to be a problem. But yeah, absolutely Richie Rays, yep, just be honest with their traffic control. They don't mind, but they will mind if I taxi all the way out to the runway and then decide I'm not ready or unable to move. That will not impress them much. Right, let's get ourselves moving because we are quite far behind the rest of our colleagues. So then says, you really got in the way. Oh, you make model airplanes. Excellent. X-Plane 11, Dan, is the name of the game. So we're going for that high speed sort of exit up there, which will be Sierra 4 Whiskey. People, yeah, landing and taking off on 27 right. Seems to be the case at the moment, given how quiet it is. No ailerons, as you can see, just those inboard ailerons and roll spoilers. Again, incredibly affected by the wind on this aircraft. It makes a major difference. Sierra 4 Whiskey is up here. Still haven't got any noticeable steering off the rudder, which really upsets me. I wish I knew how that would work. Sierra 4 Whiskey. Dr. Darren, no, he doesn't like it in yellow. No. It is quite something, isn't it? Thanks again, Phil, for that donation. Really kind. Really appreciate it. It's just sort of disappearing there. Right, we don't want to put any part of the airplane over this line. Bit strange at these 45-degree angles, so let's see if we can judge that correctly.
Lufthansa 178, after the British Airways,
Has that worked?
A320 passes left to right.
Oh yeah, easily.
249er, push and start proof face.
Right, well there's no one out there. We're about to cross the runway. I wouldn't do this, but it's just easier because there's only one of me. So let's put the strobes on now so we are ready to cross. Hopefully, we'll get called up shortly. How are we doing for fuel? We have about a ton of taxi fuel. Oh, we've used it. Yeah. So we're burning some of our extra fuel now. No surprise there. This is going to be a thirsty taxi out. Ed is reliving his youth with Airfix. Yep, excellent. We all go through those phases, I'm sure. Might remind the controller we're here.
Lufthansa 17 Alpha, same to you, contact director 119725, bye-bye.
19725, bye.
Speedbird 053, take a left at Kilo, right Alpha, hold Pluto.
See, a heavy airplane like this with the cargo, I'm not sure the Beluga would ever taxi around on one engine, but it's usually in smaller airports than Heathrow, of course.
Ground France 101, ready for push and start. Speedbird 053 wasn't quite what I meant, but never mind, continue along Alpha, hold Pluto now.
Confusing section of taxiway, this area, as you can see. There are a lot of different links.
Sorry, the last station calling for push again. With Air France 101, ready for push and start, please. Air France 101, stand 321, push and start, proof, face south on Foxtrot. Face south on Foxtrot, push and start, approved, Air France 101.
Eurotrans 276, Sierra 4 Whiskey.
Sierra 4 Whiskey, cross 27 left, port vacated, take a right on Alpha.
That's Sierra 4 Whiskey, cross 27 left, right onto Alpha, Wilco, Eurotrans 276. Excellent. Brakes released. Let's. Oh no, that's on. Let's go. So we're going to go right onto Alpha. So we're crossing an Alpha here. And then I'll expect a route up there somewhere. Don't want to spend too much longer on the ground. Maxim says, how did you pick up a 3080? It's impossible to find an MSRP. Yeah, I got lucky with the RTX 3080. I was just happened to be on a website as they added some, and I managed to get one. It was very lucky. Yeah. Now I see it's gone into heading mode. I'm going to put it into nav. Well, I'm going to arm nav anyway. But the result of that is I need to put the heading onto 27. I've gone a long way around here, but that's fine. Because I'm trying to use my left hand to steer the airplane. My right hand to do the MCP. There we go. Right. That's sort of looking a bit more reasonable. Okay, we're out of the runway. Strobe lights back to auto. And right onto Alpha. Now, of course, in real life, you'd have to contact a tower controller to do that, and then go back to ground controller. So it's a bit higher workload than even that. Yeah, it's a bit busy trying to cross runways, especially in normal times when there would of course be landing airplanes here. Right, we're cruising along Alpha now.
Trans 276, continue on Alpha, hold Saturn.
Continue Alpha, hold Saturn, Eurotrans 276. Right, Alpha, Alpha, Alpha. That's not showing me Saturn, is it? I'm going to have to get another chart up. Do I have one? Taxiing.
053, contact director now 119725, bye-bye.
There's Nevis, Mora.
Director
Saturn, there it is.
725, bye-bye.
Okay, so we've got to keep an eye out for Saturn. It will be a long alpha. So somewhere here, just before that right. Alex Air Force One, I only fly the A320 family. So I'll fly the A320, 21, 19, NEOs. You don't get many A318s these days, sadly, which is quite good fun. Pretty quiet here at Heathrow today. Ground control is doing a great job. I believe this is the Aerosoft scenery. I think I got this on Steam back when I first started streaming. It'd be fun to see a Beluga at Heathrow. Quite unusual. Heathrow's had its share of unusual airplanes. That being one, just in front of us. Hard to ignore. Ground speed 16 knots. See, the funny thing about taxiing this airplane, it does... I always think we're going a bit faster than we actually are. Because we're so low down, it does have that effect. It's quite impressive. Because 10 knots around a 90-degree turn isn't unreasonable. But it feels pretty sporty in this. Great sound effects on the engine. Yeah, Victor Tango, I'm afraid I haven't flown the A318. It's very, very rare to see those. I can't imagine it's much different. I can't imagine. Axel Jack says the A318 is like the hot rod of airplanes. Yeah, it should be pretty overpowered, shouldn't it?
I wanted you to stay on Alpha, please. Take the next
So we're holding at Saturn, which is more burnt. There's Saturn up there. Let's do it. How are we doing on fuel? 15 tons. So we burnt our ton of taxi fuel. That's okay. It's not taking us too much extra to get up here. So we can do a few other things that we need to do. Let's get that weather radar on because I wanted it for takeoff. Let's get this to TAR8. There it is. Before the controller gets upset at me for turning it off. Auto brake, go to max. We've done the speed brake, which is armed.
Question 523 Charlie, stand 454.
So, auto brake, speed brake, transponder, weather radar, and takeoff config. Takeoff test normal. All good. Is there a checklist we can run?
Your trans 276, contact director now 119725, bye bye.
119725, Eurotrans 276, goodbye. 119, controller doing a fantastic job by the way, really nice controller looking after us all there. 119725 is director.
Speedbird 909 uniform, Heathrow director, good afternoon.
Before we check in, let's just check the before takeoff checklist. So flight controls we've checked, flight instruments are checked, briefing confirmed, V1, VR, V2 and flex temp are all set. Slats flaps 15 and 0. Takeoff config is normal for takeoff. Transponder is set. TCAS TR8, auto brake max, ignition not required. Director, good evening. Eurotrans 276 Saturn.
Station standby, just had system freestyle, Speedbird 909 uniform, Heathrow director, descent flight level 80, level by lamp on, and leave lamp on heading 265.
Greek Badger, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. I hope you're doing very well. We added, not 20%. Is that an inibuilds recommendation? Oh dear. We might be a little bit tight on fuel today. I wasn't sure if there was a recommendation for that or not, but we did take a bit extra, so we're going to find out.
Speedbird 90, report your passing altitude.
6,700, Speedbird 90.
I don't use XMR, William. No, I don't.
Speedbird 90, thanks, clear now, flight level 180.
Yeah, we've had a few fuel discussions recently on this channel. The 146 was an interesting one.
Speedbird 776 now for the ATC, managed.
Getting busy over here. Got the Lufthansa, got the Speedbird. Another Lufthansa, they seem to have taken over the place.
Have a good day. I'll speak for 776. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Eurotrans 276, taxi link 23, holding point Alpha 1.
Taxi link 23, holding point Alpha 1, Eurotrans 276. Okay, link 23, Alpha 1. So we're going up to the right here.
Behind the departing Lufthansa.
Maybe he's going to get some of these aircraft off in front of us. Wonder if I can declare minimum fuel before we've even left the ground. They probably wouldn't appreciate that one. Good evening, Hayden J. Robbins. Thanks for coming along. I hope you're doing very well. Hayden, was it you asking me about flying the helicopter again? I think it was on the Discord. So I do apologise. Yeah, I haven't installed the Airbus helicopter yet. No, it's for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I see it seems to be very popular. Very popular. Alex Air Force One. Thanks for coming along. See you next time. Hope you're doing well. Marcel Dupree, good to see you. Where is Saturn on the charts? Yeah, it's been missing, but it was on a different chart for anyone else. There's a taxi chart. Saturn's there. All right, let's find. Nick 23 Alpha 1's over there. Not much traffic on approach, which might help us out. Let's try and beat this little Lufthansa. Unlikely to beat the Speedbird, I imagine. Wonder what they're seeing us as. I hope everyone can see me as a Beluga, but I know they have to, of course, install the pack. Evening, Jonathan Goodhauser. I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for coming along. Good, great to see you here.
All stations standby, so I'm system 7 at Hissy Fit, Lufthansa 17 Alpha, service wind 1 and 0 degrees 1 for knots.
We don't have the fuel for that.
Clear for takeoff, Lufthansa South.
Very good set. Now I have a horrible feeling, even if I try. So we've completed the before takeoff checklist. Let's just have a look. Is it going to let me load on some fuel?
Shamrock 903 Delta, Heathrow Director, good afternoon.
Well, let's just do it properly actually.
7307.
We know we have the performance because we've actually added a bit extra.
For the ATC, you can come 122 decimal 8.
122 decimal 8, that's the ATC speed.
Yes, that'll do. Nobody saw that, did you? You guys didn't see that. That's all fine. That's all fine. That'll make a big difference now because, yeah, we are in a bit of a queue. Jonathan Gonzalez says, doing fine, thanks. Just finished a VFR local around Geneva on Fatsim. Excellent. Sounds lovely. Geneva's a very nice place to be VFR, I'd have thought. So not too many to go. Speedbird's going to nip out ahead of us. Anyone on approach? Nope. So fingers crossed we're next, unless that Lufthansa gets zoomed in behind. Yeah, just a quick call to the fuel. Exactly the Greek Badger. And Psycho 2K6 didn't say anything either. I didn't think so. Excellent. Otherwise, we'll spend the entire flight calculating fuel. And it's not the easiest thing to do in this airplane because all the predictions in the FMS are wrong. So you'll just end up... I've already done it basically on stream, so I didn't want to do it again. Yeah, we'd have tipped the fuel for that one, indeed, Schwig. Lauren V said, I had to change stands yesterday and forgot to realign my IRS and I'd already called for push. Nobody saw me auto-align them. Yeah, there you go. Nobody sees anything. It's all fine. The Beluga really does suit the DHL livery. Probably the best rendition of that livery I've seen. There you go, Rosa McGowan. I could agree with that. I actually think it looks great. I knew it wouldn't be to everyone's taste, but it's smart. It's smart. I mean, it looks believable. It looks like a lorry, I suppose. Just a big, massive, great juggernaut lorry. You know those lorries with the small cabs and then the massive, great trailers? It just looks like that. So it's quite fitting, really. Now, I was sort of hoping we'd... Oh, no. Still waiting for that one, I was going to say. I'm using VATSIM for the traffic. VATSIM. Nicholas says it's just like that Lufthansa pilot at JFK who wanted to go out of his aircraft to close the panel in the middle of the taxiway. Yeah, that was quite impressive. That was a great video. Victor Sanger says, I like the livery too, I just think the Beluga is unsightly. Fair enough. So, yeah, if you don't like the Beluga, then that's all you're going to get. It looks very similar to the lorries DHL is driving here, says Ingo. Thanks there. I thought so. Engine noise is fantastic. I'm glad you guys can hear it. Yeah, I agree. It is especially good. Let's give it a bit of a rev up. Pretty quiet from that view. Let's try from here. With the high power engine run. Nothing wrong with that, the holding point. Yeah, they are fantastic sounds. Yeah, we are burning our fuel. There's 200 kilos of it gone. It is a thirsty aeroplane on the ground. I think this controller's having a bit of a nightmare with the with his system. He keeps freezing. So fuel flow is, yeah, look at that. Up to almost 2 tons an hour there. We're going to sit at about 1 ton an hour each side. That's a lot. I mean, yeah, that is a lot. 320's considerably less. Harry says, at least not as bad as a Dreamlifter. There you go, Harry's not a fan of the Dreamlifter. Yeah, we might have to refuel again. Yeah, can you imagine? Well, it's not working out great. I'd hope to be in the air. We've been going an hour now, so I'll be getting complaints on the video now. It takes me more than an hour to get in the air. It's a short flight though, guys. 1 hour 20, no problem. KK, good to see you. I'm using the Fly Live Studio overlay, Viriam. Fly Live Studio. And he says, I don't recall ever driving a truck with a tail fin. Andy, of course, our resident heavy goods vehicle or truck and coach vehicle driver. Ingo says, can you bring back a new landing gear for the A300? I just smashed into 27 left an hour ago. Yeah, we'll put one on when we get to Leipzig. I don't know if they make Airbus parts there though. Johannes B, thank you so much for your $12.18 donation. Really kind, Johannes. Johannes says, have a great takeoff. I'm at flight level 300 in a moment. As always, thanks for the great content and enjoy the flight. Really appreciate it, Johannes. As always, thank you for donating and contributing towards the channel as much as you do. Really appreciate it. And that's a really generous donation. And we will. I can't believe we're already up there. I might speak to the controller in a second and direct Eurotrans 276. Thanks. Okay. Okay, what are we going to do here? Directors offline. We've still got ground 1217. Go to grounds. I wonder if they can sort us out. Ground Eurotrans 276.
Eurotrans 276, pass message.
Yep, we're at the holding point. Director's gone offline, we believe. Should we speak to you or just get ourselves in the air?
That's 122.8 for you, please. Continue 1228, bye bye.
1228, thanks very much. Bye bye, Eurotrans 276. Ooh, I didn't hear that, so let's get ourselves out of the way. Heathrow traffic, Eurotrans 276, lining up and taking off 27 right. Right, let's get ourselves out of the way. Yeah, we'd have been sat there for a while. Strobe lights on, landing lights on. No cabin crew to give the ding to. Let us get rid of that. We've done the checklist, we're ready to go. So we are going to spool up the engines. And there's a button I need to press. Where's it gone? That one. No, it's not that one. Who couldn't remind me before we go? That one. There's a button we're going to press to engage the auto thrust. And that will hopefully set the takeoff thrust. The slowest engines to spool up that I've seen on this one. We are tight on fuel, and let's see the engines. Yeah, exactly. You can all remind me of that moment when we are concerned about the fuel at the other end. Yep, so go. Apologies for that. It's been a busy one and a long taxi out. Right, let's get ourselves going. We've got our V1, we've got our rotate speed in. Let's go. Spool up those engines. Let's go to Leipzig. They are so slow for this part. There we go. They are spooling up. Go, 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 go. Right, take off. That rudder not doing a whole lot of it yet. Right, takeoff thrust is pretty much set now. Just in time for 80 knots. You see the airplane is affected so much by wind. There's 100 knots, which is at neutral. Takeoff thrust is set. Takes forever. We're going to use a lot of the runway today. V1 and rotate. Up we go. Releasing the rudder. Positive climb. gear coming up. There's thrust hold, SRS and nav. And away we go. There's 1,000 feet. We have to do everything ourselves here, so I will put the autopilot in because I will miss something or another. And we want to move out of SRS mode, so I'm going to go to level change. And I'm going to accelerate the speed to 250 knots. No speed limit on this one. I'm going to change the thrust to climb thrust. There it goes. That brings the thrust back a bit. And we are above our minimum clean speed, which is 200 knots. So I just want to wait for it to accelerate a bit, bring the flaps in. And we'll disarm those spoilers. And we'll turn off the nose gear lights. There they are. Right, and away we go. Climbing 6,000 feet, out mode is armed, in nav mode, going to fly around the turns at 250 knots. There we go. So sorry for that delay, guys. Yeah, we should have known that controller he did warn us that he was having trouble. Time for the flyby out of Heathrow. It doesn't look very fast, does it? Right, it's going to level up at 6,000, which is normal at this stage out of London. It's just very, very busy airspace. Yeah, if you are watching and enjoying, do please hit the like button. It'll make a big difference to the channel, and I really appreciate it. The Greek Badger says, possible idea, spooling the engines at 50-60% while holding the brakes so that you don't waste runway length. Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual procedure is, because they do seem remarkably slow to accelerate. And what's strange is they accelerate okay to the first sort of 50%, and then they're slow after that, which is unusual. Normally engines are more responsive in the higher RPMs. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. Right, 6,000 feet. Let's get going. It's one of those days. Oh, into the clouds. Engine anti-ice on. And we're going to climb up to 35,000 for today. Pretty high for this airplane, but yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. 35,000, level change. I think we can turn the gear off. I'm not sure where that would happen. Right, let's go. There's Heathrow. Thanks for looking after us. Thanks to the controllers who looked after us. Aaron Gaming says, what a glamorous looking airplane. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I would certainly agree. Stands out nicely. Looks like an alien head, says Richie Ray's. Yeah, that's a good one, yeah. It does a bit straight on. It's like the old school sort of aliens. This is the busiest Unicom I've ever seen. Everyone's using it very well. Right, checklist time. After taking a climb check, the slats flaps are retracted. Yep. Landing gear up and neutral. Up in neutral. Packs are on. Let's just check that. Yep, we're on pack 2. Altimeter's set. Standard, please. Quick. Standard. Standard. And over here, standard. Excellent. Vati2, thanks so much for your £10 donation. Really kind. Thank you, Vati2. Vati2 says, have a great flight. Back later. Food pit stop. Enjoy your food. Enjoy your dinner. I've already had my Viennese rolls for the evening. But yeah, thanks so much for coming along, Vati2. Really appreciate it. And that's a really kind donation. I hope you're doing very well. Thank you for supporting the channel as you have been. And thanks for coming along again. Right, let's accelerate a little bit. We'll go to 280, I think, for the climb. Yeah, really kind of you, Vati2. Thank you so much. Engine anti-ice can come off. Landing lights we can retract. Save every bit of fuel we can. And we definitely got the APU off, so we'll save a little bit there. I think it's time just to sort of get ourselves up and out the way of London. TCAS is on. Can't see anything around within 6 miles, so that's all good. Great rate of climb. Maybe 280 is a little optimistic. That looks pretty fast. Let's go 270. Get that climb going. Get into the more efficient air. Yeah, thank you again, Vati2. Really appreciate it. Vehicle Boy says smart plane. Yeah, glad you like it. Clouds. Always bringing my computer to its knees in terms of FPS. No surprise there. George says, long time ago, but looks so familiar to the A310 office. Flew it with so much pleasure. Excellent, George. Sorry, Trouble. Yeah, it is very similar. Obviously, really similar to the A300 and also, of course, the A310 as a result. Yeah, fantastic. I've never flown these in real life. I wonder what they were like. Sounds like you enjoyed it. Rosie McGowan says, I'm quite impressed with the rate of climb the Beluga's managing so far. Seems a lot faster than the 146. Yeah, the 146 is not as powerful as this. The thing with the Beluga is it's and we have talked about this before. It's so I apologise to those of you who've seen the previous streams with it, but it's powerful really. It's a lot of drag with this huge surface area, but it's got powerful engines and it's pretty light. It's not full of passengers. There's no passengers in here. There's less fuel. It's not doing a long haul flight, although we've actually loaded on quite a lot today. But yeah, it's relatively light. It's not full of passengers and bags, which are relatively heavy for their size. It's got a nice empty wings, which of course, being airplane parts, are quite light by design. So it tends to do all right. But yeah, in the descent, it will plummet out the sky like a stone if you let it. Speed limit exceeded, no problem. There's our level off, just off the gas band. Dave says, any best, worst moments in the cockpit you could share with us? Ooh. Yeah, it's funny that there's some of the hardest moments at work for airline pilots will be on the grounds, and it will be things like huge delays caused by slots and thunderstorms and things like that. Maybe you're going to explain it to the passengers and so on, and that's where we have to work really hard. So if you find that your flight's delayed by 5 hours and the flight crew have been they're sat on the airplane, let's say it's not their base, that is it's not bad. I don't want to say it's a bad moment, but that's some of the hardest work you'll do as a pilot, and it can be a few hours, but for those few hours you're going to be constantly troubleshooting, looking after the passengers, looking after the crew, checking the hours, checking the aeroplane, looking after the slot. Is the slot going to come forward? Do we need to board the passengers? How long can we have the passengers on board before we need to get them off again? And then you can run into really strange little problems if you sit on the ground too long in an airplane. You might find that you've burnt, for example, the fuel burn in the 320, the APU. I don't know how it works in this airplane. It's the same. Yeah, so if you sit on the ground and you're on the APU the whole time, because there's no ground power available, something like that, then it will eventually, you can see here it drains out the left tank, which is the same as the 320. So eventually you'll have a fuel imbalance. So how do you sort that out without adding more fuel? Do you need more fuel? Is the fuel still there? What sort of time of day is it? Do you need de-icing? Is ice starting to build on the airplane because you've been on the ground too long? Are the de-icers available? When should you de-ice? If you have to de-ice as you taxi out, will that delay you for takeoff and therefore you'll miss your slots? But if you de-ice now, is that too early and the ice will reform or you'll be out of your holdover time? And this is where those are the really long days where the pilots will be working flat out, and it will feel like, well, we're sat on the ground for 5 hours, so the pilots must be sat there for 5 hours doing nothing. But I can guarantee it's not like that. It's funny how quickly the time goes when you're in a situation like that. It will, a 5 hour delay you can lose in your mind. You won't even notice it because you'll just be working and working and working. If the plane's broken, how are we going to fix that? Where's the engineers coming from? What do they need? How can we help them? How can we set up the airplane? Do we need to add more fuel, etc.? Can we add more fuel? Is it safe to add fuel while the engineers are working on what they're working on, and so on? So yeah, it's those are the really long days for the pilots. I can tell you that. Alternatives for times that are really tough for pilots will be the weather. Quite often, major weather issues, big thunderstorms, which usually leads to slot delays, but also the snow, again leading to delays, and of course strong wind days. So when you're on an approach and you've got really strong winds, and again you'll carry the extra fuel, but if you can't get in, where are you going to go? How are you going to get the passengers home? How are you going to get yourself home as well, in the airplane where it needs to be to do its next flight, and so on? And if you don't manage to get into an airport and you divert, that's a lot of money, time and frustration for a lot of people. So obviously not at the expense of safety. Well, if it's safer to do that, that's what we'll do, but it's a case of just balancing everything to give yourself the best chance to do it safely when you hit there. But yeah, some days it's just really windy, and you'll see those videos of pilots working really hard, putting all their skills to the test, really. Well, not to the test, to use. But yeah, those are some of the big days. Dr. Darinaho says, the biggest worry is the coffee machine working. Yeah, exactly. What if, when you arrive at work, the coffee shop isn't open? What if the queue's too long so you can't get a cup of coffee before you get to the airplane? I mean, these are real concerns. Richie says, just do the meal service during the delay. Yeah, so if you do the meal service during the delay, if you put the carts out, let's say you kept the passengers on board, what happens if the slot suddenly arrives and it's time to go? And we have a window where we'll tell air traffic control we're ready to go. So what if they suddenly say, right, you've got to go now or you'll miss your slot again? So if they suddenly move it forward. So do you want to start a meal service? What if the slot's in half an hour, then an hour, then 2 hours? What if it keeps delaying? Yeah. I could talk all day about all these things. I'm not whinging at all, I promise. I'm not complaining. These are just these are some of the things that we do that no one sort of tells you about. You don't train for. It's something that you sort of learn on the job as you get more used to it. No coffee, says Dave. Yeah, imagine. Tom says, if you're low on fuel, just go to EFB and refuel. Yeah, there you go. yeah, even if you're at the holding point. Excellent. Lauren V says, speaking of hours, I'm pushing the due today for Cross the Ditch. Planning to Hobart, Palmy, Brisbane in the 321. Any plans for Cross the Ditch? Oh, I haven't heard Cross the Ditch. So, no plans, I'm afraid. It sounds interesting, though. Yeah, that sounds like a bit of a push of a duty day. We've already done the duty day within this channel with the those long haul streams. So Gosh says, would anyone recommend any GA payware planes from Microsoft Flight Simulator? I've got the Cessna 182 and the Bird Dog and one of the Arcady jets. Well, I like the Just Flight PA-28, although they're about to release the new one. If you want to get the Turbo Arrow / Arrow 4. Yeah, those are some nice GA ones. Hayden J. Robbins says, screenshots from this flight on the Explain 11 screenshots channel in the Discord. Oh, excellent. A32X, hello to you. Thanks for coming along. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I do like the Discord. I like seeing the different screenshots you guys get of the group flights and so on. So thanks for putting those on there. Victor Tango says, a true pilot complaining and whinging while saying he's not. Yeah, exactly. Richie Ray says, tell the controller we're delaying the takeoff until everyone is paid for the delay. Yeah, well, you can tell them that and they'll be quite happy and they'll say, yeah, that's fine. But your next slot, it may be 4 hours away after that. No worries, for gosh. Yeah, the Just Flight Arrow, but like I say, the new one must be on the horizon. Oh, the version 4, so it depends which one you want really, but I've used it. You can see my videos on it on my channel, yeah, if you're interested in looking at the Arrow. That's quite a nice GA experience. Alexander Beck has to go. Maybe see you later. Thanks for coming along, Alexander. Good to see you here. And he's put a link to Cross the Ditch in the VATSIM help section. Thanks very much, Andy. Yeah, I'll have a look at it. I do very badly at VATSIM events for a few reasons. I usually get in trouble, and also I usually miss the application time. Because as you guys know, my streams are usually planned about 24 hours in advance, not much further than that. Ed's no sign of the FO today. She is... No, I'm not sure where she is today. No, she's not joining us right now. She might find out. I think she's asleep. So if she's already asleep before we start the stream, she tends to... she'll have to wake up for some reason, and then she'll hear what's going on and head over to join us. But for now, she's not here. George Trouble says, was a dream to fly in the early 80 revolution. No flight engineer, ETOPS, Autoland Cat 3, screens, ECAM. This was a major step forward. Not many people realise this. Yeah, big changeover from the older style just before it. George says we felt like kings in the sky. Yeah, I bet. AC455, good to see you. AC455 says I'm about 5 minutes from landing into Heathrow for my first non-stop Atlantic crossing in the A319. Fantastic. Oh, enjoy that. That'll be great. Look at this, still 1,000 feet per minute. This is just great climb performance. No trouble here. I do like... This is quite a good old school altimeter. Mostly they're not very good, but this one is really nice. That big needle and then the written text behind it works really well. Dr. Darren Nahu says, invite the slot manager to the meal service, problem solved. Now there is an idea. I haven't thought of that one before. Sadly, the slot manager is usually at the destination or en route Eurocontrol, something like that. They're not usually, it's not often the airport you're departing from, but it can be. Johannes P says, did SimBrief also tell you Norta at 230? Great question. Very possibly. Thanks Heathrow, we had fun. In fact, it'll be on this page, won't it? Nauta 23. Yeah, Nauta 23. Interesting. Let's go to plan. Now, I've done this before and we end up breaking it, so we'll try not to. Fill the screen, always good. I suppose Nauta's not too far away. This wants us to be 281 at Nauta, so if we were in an A300, we would have already started our descent by Nauta. Could be a good way to save fuel. Mr. Espresso says, I once spent a night in a plane on the taxiway in Khartoum due to severe sandstorm. Airline gave its passengers free drinks. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it can happen. Nobody says, stuck to 2 to 3 hours on the ground in the CRJ with only water and pretzels aboard while watching Airbuses and 73s take off was brutal. Oh, why was that? What happened? Was that a broken CRJ, Lauren B? Oh no. Mr. Sanger says, we haven't spoken about pizza in a while. No, we haven't. We haven't. We can't resort to it yet. We can't resort to it yet. We'll set up a bit of the arrival first. So, let's think of the arrival. Is there a controller available to us when we get to the other end? I think we're safe. I think not. So, let's go start. Expecting the ILS. Ooh, is it going to be 26 left or right? Simbrief said right. And we are now being joined by the first officer. Let's see, is she going to say hello? Yeah, a very quiet one. A very quiet hello. You're right. Sorry about this, everyone. Just trying to manoeuvre the cat around. I'm totally going to miss the level off if we're not careful. So let's focus on that level off first. Just reaching 350. DHL is next to 26 left. Okay, we'll go with 26 left then. That makes the most sense. Last little bit to level off. I think we can accelerate as well. Oof, didn't want to accelerate there. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Increasing the Mach number here. It's a bit of a mess. EDP seems to be in line. Excellent. Thanks, Mr. Espresso. Mr. Espresso is always very good on the VAT sim. And they're using 26 left. 26 left. That's the dream. Perfect. We'll just set up for that then. Coming in via Kojak, I believe. Last 200 feet. There we go, out modes. And we are level. Let's just check. Planned cruising speeds. 6.8. There we go, 6.8. Let me just check. We can see it on these leg pages. This one 5.1, 5.4, 6.4, 6.8. Yeah, this one 6.8 for the cruise. We can do that. Right. So let's bring up the charts. EDDP. And we are going to go for arrival. We had Kojak. I had one Victor, Arnav. That suggests... Oh, wow, that is a classic. Yeah, that's a classic. Let's just check the Romeo. Oh. Wow, these will be these will be serious fuel planning nightmares. Look at this one, 5,000 feet for all of that. Remarkable. That would be pretty intense. So this takes us downwind to land on the westerlies. This is a very typical German style of RNAV arrival at the moment, but it's got disadvantages. Do we have a transition then? We are going to end up at 429 on the vector into the infinite, and then we expect radar vectors back round. I don't know if we're going to have... No. Yikes. Wow. So yeah, so this is pretty typical these days. Let's bring up 26 left. Last time we flew to Germany, we got in big trouble. There you go, the first officer's left us now. RS 26 left. Is the transitions in here? Nope. Oh, wow. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, RS 6 left. It says via Lofto, and we're going with the Kojak 1 Victor. I can't believe that. I can't believe it. Right, let's zoom in. I'll stop whinging. We'll scroll through. There it is. Out. And what happens with the Victor? That's the go around. So yeah, DP49, then into the infinite. Then DP437, COSAM, and down for the ILS, which is here. Oh, have I got the rabbit in the right? No. Yeah, that's the right. That would explain it. Right. No, not right. ILS is left. Insert. Okay. Let's try that again. Kojak 420. Why is there discontinuity there? Can we not use that one? It's the one Victor. Seems fine. Should just link up to the 420. So we'll press clear. We'll clear the discontinuity. I'm surprised we don't have to approve that, but there we go. Normally you have to double confirm these things. Off into the infinite, and then there's the approach. It goes via jogger. But we're not going to do that. Right, okay, we shall see where we end up. But yeah, last time we flew an approach into Nuremberg, we got in big trouble with air traffic control because we effectively flew a different sort of arrival that took us round onto the runway. Air traffic control never told us otherwise, but no, they also weren't online in time, or they weren't speaking to us when we were given the star. They didn't give us a star, so we flew the one we thought with flight plans, but they weren't happy because we actually turned in. So this new idea of just leaving you on a vector into the infinite is fine. It actually it's quite nice for us as pilots to have this. It's just bad for fuel planning because, as you can see, this entire leg is supposed to be done at 5,000 feet, and then you'll be broken off and flown on the approach as required. The problem is, so these are supposed to be more efficient for air traffic control because by having this massive great line with an infinite vector, we can then they can filter us in as required. But if you force all your airplanes down to 5,000 feet to then fly along this leg, it's incredibly fuel intense. I would want to be beam the airfield at sort of 7,000 feet above the airfield, and here at 5,000 feet with an elevation of 400, we're only 4,500 feet for this whole way. So it's yeah. I mean, the box has ignored it, luckily. So I'm assuming it's going to be a minimum altitude on this one. So maybe I shouldn't be complaining. Maybe that's fine. It's just minimum the whole time because of MSA. But yeah. Ones like the ones into Dublin are more restrictive. They actually force you to get lower and stay lower. This one's slightly different. Maybe this one's okay. Maybe I'm getting confused over nothing. Very possible and probably very likely. Alright, let's check in. Control, Eurotrans 276, flight level 350.
Hello, 276 Amsterdam. You're already on a direct routing, so continue.
We are now routing to Norta, Eurotrans 276. Thank you.
Yep.
Amsterdam Norta, welcome. C4 to Quebec Alpha, we are flight level 390.
Right. There we go then. Dr. Naranjo says, come one day where 320 Sim pilot brings a pineapple on pizza Beluga livery to spark Civil War. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I can see pizza's been written a lot.
Roger.
Ingo says, you missed the Vi. Yeah. Yeah. Won't make much difference though. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a second. Yep, 26 right. Thanks, Stephen. Yep, that was my mistake. Pizza. Lots of pizza talk. Hayden says I could do untold damage to a pizza at the moment, but I'm on a diet. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Goodness me. Bruce says, hello, I'm about to join ATP flight school, but medical is holding me back. I had a... Oof. I have to get a CT and send all of the info to the FAA. Okay, well I hope you're feeling better first, and yeah, sorry to hear that. Bruce says, if everything is fine, which it is, you think they'd approve my class on medical? Do you know any pilots who had a thorax? I don't know. Sadly, I'm not qualified to say. I really don't know, Bruce. I hope you feel better. I hope it all gets approved swiftly and easy for you. I really do. I haven't heard of that, so and I wouldn't. That's not because it's never happened. It's because I just am not familiar with medical issues at all. Most pilots don't. Well, even if pilots have medical issues, you know, you tend not to hear too much about it. Most people don't talk about it very much. So yeah, I just wouldn't know. So I hope it gets sorted quickly for you. Maxim says, do you know the reason for a flight control pitch trim MCDU CG disagree message on ECAM upon takeoff? Do I need to plug in THX in the perf page? In the Toliss, yes, it needs, I believe it needs you to write it in, and it's very sensitive to the actual trim you set, so you need to make sure you set your pitch trim wheel before takeoff very carefully. But the real aeroplane isn't quite that fussy. We don't enter it in the real aeroplane. We don't have to enter it into the MCDU, but it will depend on the fit of the aeroplane. So it seems that the Toliss now requires it.
Amsterdam, goedenavond, Transavia, correction, non 706 Simano.
Yeah, there's a Dutch accent to the point. Absolutely. Right. So this is an airport I haven't been to before, I don't think. So that's the arrival. The via seems it's just going to have to be radar vectors. We've got these waypoints in. 500 foot elevation, normal 3-degree ILS. We're not going to do localize that. 3,000 feet mandatory, so via Takeoff we'll begin our descent down. 670 on the minima, so we can put that in here. Well, we've done the flight plan part anyway. Check that. What we can do is check the go around as well. Make sure that's looking reasonable. So, straight ahead, 900 feet. D116 by uniform. Let's check this on the nav display as well. Plan. Scroll. Doesn't seem to be a lot in there. Oh, there it is. Right. 900, then left turn rounds at the 116U, which will be yeah, the radio 116 from the Lima Echo Golf, which is here. Yeah, that's confusing. It'll go around this one, and then the left turn back round to Jogger, which is not part of it's the initial approach fix, but also our endpoint for the missed approach, which you can see up here. Turn left to Jogger, climbing to 5,000 feet. Is there a hold at Jogger? What do we do when we get there? Or do we just... Unusual. Do they expect us just to start another approach? Maybe they do. Jonathan Gonzaga, good to see you. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you next time.
Good evening, Air France 101 is climbing through flight level 260.
Richie Ree says, in real life, arrival and approach runway assignments given before taking off or during descent? Oh, during descent. Yeah, the airports could change their mind on the arrival runway during the flight. Your flight plan will end at a certain waypoint. So our flight plan today ended at, what was it called? Kojak. So because of that, we knew that we'd fly some sort of Kojak arrival. But the runway news could change. This runway could shut for some reason. They'll swap to the right. It could be for noise abatement reasons. Yeah, all sorts. Anyway, there's a flight plan. And let's tune a bit of the frequencies and minima. So it's 263, 110.3.
When ready, descend flight level 70 to go for RTIP, flight level 100 will be low.
When ready to be leveled RTIP
263.
Level 716.
Clear level is 70.
110.3.
Level 70.
Got to tune it ourselves, and there it is. So fingers crossed, that's the ILS tuned. That looks good. We'll go for low auto brake, and the reason is airports. Too many charts. My favourite complaint. 26 left is a 3,600 metre runway, so we're going to go low auto brake, come off at Sierra.
Amsterdam,
Oh, actually, if it's going to be busy, let's go mid. And that way, hopefully, we'll make Sierra 4 with no trouble. Vacate left, even at this weight. 13 tons of fuel. We're doing absolutely fine for fuel. All looking very good. Yeah, so touchdown, roll out. Maybe low. I'm trying to think how hard. This airplane isn't too hard to slow down. It's not too heavy. So let's go low. It's got a lot of drag as well. I think low will be fine to come off at Sierra 4 and then back round and go presumably park over here on apron 4. Unless anyone in the chat knows different. Astroju says, hi, earlier I heard you call for clearance and thought, a Beluga, so I checked you on about Simmons, thought it was you. Excellent, Astroju, thanks for coming along, and yeah, glad you made it, glad you heard us on the on the frequency. Thanks for coming along. Right, that's all good. Going back to the RLS then, I see a great point being made by you guys. RLS does not have a DME, it does not say RLS DME, it's just an RLS, so we need to have the DME associated. This is a very old school thing. Most of Germany now has fixed this, but clearly they haven't. So, what do they want as a DME? This is based on Lima Delta. Lima Delta. And we are going to be closer to the runway than we think. Yep, we're about half a mile closer. Pretty typical. 11215. So let's try and tune that in. Why doesn't it let me? Does anybody know? I mean, I'm going to stay in nav mode.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll be in RLS mode later. Why can't I tune
And what is your speed
a VR? Who knows? Let me have a look round. Let me have a look round. Nothing down here for tuning. We've got COM and the RS, we've tuned that. And there's the ADFs. We could tune in the 357, I suppose, just as a backup, just in case we fancy it. 357. Oh no, not 2. And 357. Ah, that was annoying. If I set that to VOR, it stays in nav mode. But of course, I'm going to put it to RS for the approach, so it's not going to help like that. It is tuning. Look, it's tuned up here. So I must be missing something really obvious here.
10 minutes. That's quite a lot, to be honest.
Progress. There we go. It's an auto-tuned. Goodness me, I made that difficult. Right, it is. It's like the 320 then. Good. Okay. 112. Decimal 15. Oh, it wants the name. Fair enough. Lima Delta. There we go. 11215 is tuned. So that's going to give us just a DME, and that'll be absolutely fine. So we're going to have that over here when we get a bit closer. Lima Delta. So yeah, we are closer than our DME suggests, so we've got to watch out for that. So yeah, 4.9 miles is actually going to be to 3. That's 4. So 4.9 is actually 4. It's 0.9 miles difference. Yeah, quite a difference. Thanks, Dr. Darren Naho. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, so you guys remind me if I try and configure too late, you remind me.
123.95, thank you, bye-bye.
And we need to put everything a mile earlier. Put 26 left in the progress page. I think we'll leave the progress page up. It's looking quite useful right now. We are 264 miles away. Plenty of room. Plenty of room. Glad we started this early though. Okay. Can you use Radio Stack hardware to tune VR? Oh, that's an interesting one. Can my Radio Stack do it? No. My Radio Stack is actually set to this frequency. So it looks like my nav 1. No, doesn't seem to work. Which I can understand. It's a bit of a confusing setup with this little instrument. Let's just check I didn't change it. 103 and 263. Cool. Right, that's all done. MSA of 2,700 feet, so we are going to need to be on that profile. So that's pretty low actually. We'll be descending with the ILS by the time we go beneath it. So if we go by tackle, we can go down to 3,000 feet quite safely. After landing, vacate off to the left, and let's just bring up a parking chart. Which apron are we planning to go? Sounds like we're going to go down to the left. Apron 4 or 5? I'm assuming not apron 2. So let's have apron 4 and 5. There we go. Come back in here and find one of these places to park. Good, 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 good. Minima, right, we're supposed to put the minima in and all that. Minima today of 670, 200 feet. And there. And this says approach 137 for a 30-40 landing. We'll do 30-40. We can activate final approach mode in there if we need it. But of course, we're going to get our speed from this little card because we know all the speeds in there are complete nonsense. It's hard to get to though. I want to swap to landing. There we go. Click. VAP 132. So yeah, 132 VAP. That's fine. Pretty slow, but we know this airplane has extra lift, it seems, over the traditional A300. Oh, bit of a wind change there. No problem. Right, I think we have a bit of a plan. So no terrain, pretty standard approach, but we just need to be ready that the air traffic control will just cut us off here somewhere. We're going to be a bit high. So DP 424. Let's just see. If we go to our flight plan, let's check what the. Oh no, why am I even looking? Yeah, this is all nonsense. Anyway, this actually has us a bit high. It says 11.7, but we'll be probably want to be a little bit lower than that at beam the airfield just so we can cut in a bit tighter. However, we've got so much drag. We did it last time. We left ourselves get really high and we had no trouble diving in because of all that drag. Excellent. Red nav, progress, and performance we've all done. 123925. Eurotrans 276. Goodbye.
Hi.
Very nice controller. 1239.
Eurotrans 699. No further ATC.
25. Control Eurotrans 276. Flight level 350.
Eurotrans 276. Good evening. Identified.
There we go. So massive tailwind that is helping us out. You'll notice that I'm not telling them where I'm going. If you're on your original flight plan, you typically don't need to. You unless it been, unless there was a change in the previous controller, like a speed restriction or a direct or a heading, you'd tell them any of those. But we're flight planned to go this way, so I'll just tell them what level I'm at just to confirm it with them, so they know I'm not trying to climb on this end. Atlas, ain't been hit a little while. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, Atlas. Yeah, good to see you again. I'm doing very well. I hope you're doing well as well. Well, sorry, Fabio. Yeah, it's not great. Victor Sango, thanks for coming back. Dr. Naranaho, see you later. Thank you for coming along. Hope you're doing well. If you are watching and you're enjoying, do please hit the like button. It makes a big difference. We'll be starting our descent very soon. Reminds me a little bit of our original video introduction on this channel. I'm pretty sure we were a bit lower for that one. Congratulate the plane, Atlas. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool as well. There's reflections of the instrument panels. Let's take a look at that fuel. So fuel used, we've burned 8 tons of, or a bit less actually, 7.3 tons of fuel, plus 12. Well, that doesn't add up at all, but we know exactly why that doesn't add up. We added about 3 tons extra, so my fuel use figures aren't going to work today. But I know that 12 tons is more than enough, seeing as we're starting our descent soon. Right, what else can we do to make our life easy? Doesn't seem to be any concerning weather. Let's bring up that sim. Just check for an ATIS. Right, yeah, there's an ATIS in Leipzig. So we're going to take information uniform. ILS 26 left in use.
Canadian 1610, request to send.
Transition level 60. Enter that one. Wind 24013. Perfect. We don't like crosswinds in this airplane. This airplane is affected more than any I've flown by that secondary effect of the removing the drift, which I'll talk about in a second. It's cab okay, lovely. Temperature 15, 2.5. That's not bad. 15 degrees in cab okay, that's more like it. Nothing like that in the UK. About 9 degrees, I think. And windy. Right, so QNH 1015, very important. So, let's put in the transition level. Takeoff approach, is it in here? No, it doesn't seem to matter. Maybe we can't enter it, we just need to know it. Because it's not going to flash the QNH at us, because the QNH is written down. Yeah, we won't worry about that then. QNH 1015 we'll just have in our minds for later. So, there's our DME, 77 miles away. Seems unlikely, so it's probably picked up the wrong one. So the airport is at least, well, progress page will tell us. Airport's 200 miles away, yeah, 210. Yeah, so this airplane, more than any we've flown on the channel, when you remove the drift, so you use the rudder at the later stage of the flare to point the nose of the airplane down the runway. When you do that, one of the wings will go faster through the air than the other. So let's say we use left rudder, so the nose of the airplane goes to the left, the rudder goes to the left. If we do that, this wing over here, the right-hand wing, is going to get moved to the air slightly quicker than the left-hand wing. So that will get more lift, this wing will lose some lift, and the airplane will then roll. So as you remove the drift, you'll find the airplane also rolls. Now the 320 removes that effect altogether, it's very good. You might use a tiny bit of interwind aileron, but in an airplane like this, I found that this one especially needs a noticeable amount of interwind aileron. So if I use left rudder, I have to use right aileron to keep those wings level in the flare. Yeah, we are halfway there, checkpoint says, yeah. Even a little bit further. Starting our descent soon.
Shamrock 99 Juliet, contact Amsterdam 125.750, bye-bye.
We'll turn that radar off now. Nothing out there to see. Still daylight. That's off. We've tuned all this. I wonder, let's have a look at my little cheat sheet procedures they give you. I like these condensed procedures that you get with some of these airplanes. I suppose we should do a systems check. We haven't done one of those, so we would have done one of those at the top of climb. There we go. Right, engines.
Left heading 070 for separation.
Left heading 070, Eurotrans 276. Left heading 070. Okay. Click to update it. Brilliant feature. If you're going to bother with the heading bug, which I don't like anyway, but if you're going to update, have a heading bug, it's great to be able to click on it to recenter it. Makes life very easy. 070 heading select. Heading mode engages. Airplane's turning to 070. Not an unreasonable heading. Over we go. Anyway, engines are all looking good. Very reasonable. Crucially, oil pressure's good, vibration's low. It's good on the cell temperature as well, I think.
121.375.
I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what the NAC is telling us. It's an unusual one. Very unusual. Yeah, George Drabble, do you know what this NAC number down here is? Otherwise, M1, exhaust gas temperature, N2, fuel used. All looking good. I know those ones, I promise. Hydraulic page. Yeah, lots of a bit of the green system. Funny, it's formatted differently. In the 320 we go green, blue, yellow. This one's blue, green, yellow. Great. There's the rat in there. PTU's offline. All looking very healthy and reasonable.
We're fighting a little with a buggy at the moment. Can you give
Generators working fine. IDGs are fine. Feeding the bus bars. Then we got a DC page as well. All looking very healthy. Bleed page. Funnily, it's using the high pressure bleed valve. I would have thought it would need that. The 320 and the cruise would use just the intermediate pressure because there's more than enough pressure out of that at sort of cruise power settings, which are obviously quite high. We're at 92% N1. I'm not entirely convinced it would use both high pressure valves at this point. Trivia, but still, we like trivia, don't we? Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. Anyway, how's the quality of the stream for you guys in terms of visual quality? I don't mean my flying, which I would be too nervous to have it judged. Because yeah, I've got it on low latency mode again, so hopefully things are happening, responding a bit quicker between what I'm saying and seeing and what I'm reading. Yeah, see, pack 1 isn't even on. So this bleed valve isn't feeding anything. The pack's not on. The anti-ice isn't on. So George Trouble says HP should be closed above 45. There you go. I would have thought so as well. Ed says, I've driven further this weekend than I have in the last 6 months. It was an odd experience. I kept checking the cars and my screen for wind speed and direction. Yeah. Yeah, would be nice, wouldn't it? Would be nice. Dave says we love trivia. Excellent. And he says good quality. Quality's great. Okay, good. That's good. Thanks, guys. So that suggests that that's working a bit better than maybe it has in the past. But Atmos, Eurotrans 276. Oh, there we go. Right. Direct page. Atmos. Inserts. They keep moving where the insert is. Now it doesn't engage nav on its own. I've got to do it. Nav. There we go. Nav, and off we go to the right. Looks good on the nav page. So we could descend at this arrow, but we know we can descend later. So we'll just sit up here for a while. I quite like doing those dive descents in this aeroplane. Good stuff. Thanks, Mr. Tango. Yeah. Okay, that's great to hear. Danny Rubel says, is the NAC parameter the nacelle air cooling? Searched a bit on the internet. I don't know if I'm correct. Oh, nacelle air cooling. Okay, could be. Could be. Yeah, I've not heard of that one before. Interesting. I'm not sure what the nacelle air cooling would do. Conditioning, all good. It's a nice 24 degrees here and in the cargo hold. Cabin pressure, all good. Cabin's going 15 feet a minute. Very accurate little gauge that. Alpha valve closed. 8 psi, pretty standard. Fuel, healthy. Pretty evenly balanced. APU off as you would hope. Flight controls, all good. Doors, all closed. Suspiciously similar to the conditioning page, if not the same. So let's get rid of that, and we'll have that nice cruise page because it's basic secondary engine information and a bit of life support, as you would put it on a sci-fi spaceship information. So there it is. Lovely. I do like the Beluga. I do like it. Very nice. I do see that a lot on the channel. George says, with the Toliss A321, also something is wrong with the HP valve. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Again, just trivia, but yeah. So what happens, sometimes those you might feel that there's a slight delay in those high pressure valves in the 320. So these will be closed in the cruise, and then you start your descent, and when the engines come to idle, these will open. But if they delay, you might feel a pressure change as the incoming air suddenly reduces. So descending in about 60 miles. Very nice, very nice. Doesn't seem to do very long flights, the old Beluga. Danny isn't sure either. Yeah. No. I'm not surprised. It's yeah. I'm pretty sure we've seen it on some other aircraft. Shame the sun's behind us. Let me get that real yellow glare effect. There we go. It's the best I can do for now. George Rebel says, yeah. Paddle, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. No problem at all. No need to apologise, of course. Thanks for coming along. Good to see you here. I hope you're doing very well today. We are just chilling. Just cruising. Sunday afternoon cruise in the Beluga.
Perimeter there, BS17 with you.
I don't know if I'll use this livery again. I'm in two minds. But it does seem to suit it. It does seem to suit it as an aeroplane. Nice contrail effects in X-Plane here. You see the way they're swirling? That's really nice. Just like the real ones do. Although the real ones, I think, swirl the other way. So this one will usually, because it will get affected by the weight turbulence, I think, more than the engine spinning. But there we go. I don't get to look at them for this long usually in real life. You just get a contrail go past you. Sometimes you'll be working away inside and you'll suddenly get a shadow all of a sudden while you're in the cruise. You know, the sun's streaming in and then a shadow will just pass as you go into a contrail of another airline, and that makes you jump suddenly, certainly. This is X-Plane, Nash goes to X-Plane 11. Idian says, this might be a stupid question. No, never a stupid question. Thanks for asking. Idian says, how can the Beluga fly on just two engines? What makes that possible? So, it's a bit like we were saying earlier. It's a light aeroplane. So these two engines are fitted to the A300, and the A300 is designed to be full of fuel, full of bags in the bottom here, and then also full of passengers. And passengers are quite heavy, as are bags and fuel. So if you need to fly with the Beluga, which although has the problem of having a lot of drag, it counters that by going slower, but it has plenty of performance because the stuff we're carrying doesn't weigh anything. Yeah, if we zoom out into the cargo area. Here, Trans 276, Mach decimal 68.
276, that's copied, maintain decimal 68, descend flight level 260.
Maintain decimal 68, descend flight level 260, Eurotrans 276. 68 we can do. 260. Yeah, so the wings in the back there are just very light. Right, we'll use vertical speed. He says. Yeah, the reason we use that is because if we just put it into level change and it idles the engines, the airplane will just dive down. Pull, there we go. Obviously, we're in an Airbus. Vertical speed. I don't know what I was trying to do there. I suppose I'm just used to this heading one. But you should click to recenter. Yeah, there we go. Right, yeah, well, we don't want to go down yet, actually, so let's just do 1,000 feet per minute. German controllers do have a habit of forcing you to descend at specific descent rates, but they haven't, so we will carry on as we are. Yeah, so this is a light aeroplane, basically. The wings are quite light, they're empty, they're hollow. Most of the cabin is empty, so it's actually not as performance limited as you would imagine. Just got a lot of drag. Yeah, that was a good time, wasn't it, Shriek? Yeah. Maxim says, how come you decided to go with X-Plane 11 when you initially started flight simming instead of P3D and flight sim A320? So, I've always liked X-Plane, but I've never really gotten into it. So I always used FSX. And then I saw that Toliss, and I'd heard good things about the Toliss, had brought out a 321, and I liked 321. So I went to Steam and saw that X-Plane 11 was available. And I liked X-Plane. I tried it before. I'd tried X-Plane 10, and I'd used the 757, VMAX 757 in X-Plane 10, and I knew it was great. And there were some things that I knew weren't available in FSX. Just some nice visual things, and I know that these days we've been spoiled with the graphics in certain simulators, but I liked the visual effects in X-Plane. I liked the way the airplane's handled, and I liked the user interface of X-Plane 11 when I tried it out. I tried out the demo, so I bought it. In terms of P3D, I've tried to buy P3D a couple of times. Whenever I go look to get it, it comes up with a thing saying you must have an academic license or a commercial license, which costs a fortune. And the cheapest one seems to be academic. But either way, basically that license doesn't allow, in theory, as far as I could tell, now I might be wrong here, but I couldn't find I couldn't find the home use sort of license for it.
178, descend to reach level 170 at Atmos.
By the way, there's our dear me springing to life, 109 miles away, which now does seem more reasonable. So you got to be careful. Those initial dear me readings can be nonsense if you tune it too far out.
276, descend to reach level 170 at Atmos.
Send to be 170 at Atmos, Eurotrans 276. Here we go. That's typical, more typical of Germany. Getting very specific.
Radar, good evening, Easy 18 Romeo, flight level 390 inbound to
170 at Atmos.
Easy 18 Romeo.
Atmos is 40, 50, just under 60, 50 miles away. Wow, that's going to be quite impressive if we manage that, but I think we will, because, let's think about this, 170. Well, it's about 15, isn't it? Just under 15. So we need 45 miles at 3 degrees, but we can easily exceed 3 degrees in our descent because of all that drag. So I'm going to push it a little bit. Let's see what happens. I wonder if we use the speed brakes and we dive down, I wonder how well it will do. The other Jason says, the joke is that you're allowed to use the academic license, but you're not allowed to have fun or else it's illegal. There you go. Yeah, so that basically that was it, and explaining in the Toliss were just great, and I sort of got into those, and then of course my channel grew around X-Plane specifically, but I used to be FSX, yeah, all FSX. I've never used P3D. Pavel says, how many tangent buttons for AGC calling are in the 320 and in Beluga? Sorry Pavel, I've misunderstood. E-Boss, good to see you. Yeah, we are sailing the Beluga. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah. Lauren B is on the ground in Leipzig. Passenger airliners might want to request a roll to the end. H5 might be hard to make. Interesting. Matter says you can use the professional license. You're a current commercial pilot. Oh, there you go. So I hadn't looked at that. I hadn't seen that one. Elisa's Maggie says, good to see you, Elisa's Maggie, by the way. Thanks for coming on. Elisa's Maggie says, everyone uses the academic license for P3D and it's not enforced in any way, so yeah, just get the academic license, which is $60, same price as full game. Funny how that works. Yeah, no, I know, it's a bit strange. But the problem is I'd have to buy the FS Labs A320. It's possible, but I must admit I haven't seen a huge amount of demand. I don't get asked about that a lot. I get asked about other airplanes more about Microsoft Flight Simulator these days, I suppose, than trying out more Airbuses, just because all the really good level Airbuses are all very, dare I say it, pretty similar. Right, let's go level change, let's dive down. Speed brakes out. Let's do it. Let's floor it. And just going back to idle. Look at that descent point moving in. This is going to be easy. Easy. Still got 30 miles to go. So we need to go 3 degrees descent. Ground speed of that. So we need 2,000 feet per minute. We're doing 4,000, 5,000 feet per minute now. Sustained. There's the level and then descent. Easy. Oh, we could have pushed it way more than that. I'm bringing in those spoilers. 6,000 feet per minute. Not even up for debate. Let's just go back to vertical speed, I suppose. And we only need to do 2,000 feet per minute. We'll be comfortable. 25 miles to go. 10,000 feet to lose. So only 30 miles. So we need to do a little more than 3 degrees. So let's go for 2.5. Yeah, that did pretty much turn it into a brick indeed. Maxim says the newest FS Labs add-on is incredible, or so I'm told. You can order pizza from your EFB. Very good. Well, that would be nice. I saw they made a sharklet thing, so they've added sharklets now, which includes an EFB for the FS Labs. So I did see a cool trailer for it, but again, I assume that's a payware add-on. Is the EFB? You guys tell me. Yeah, okay, we're not. Not quite as low as we could be, so I am pushing it a little bit. The controller will get very upset with us because he was very clear. 3,000, is that all we can set? No, not 3,000 it is. What a shame, an airplane that can do so much more. Elisa Maggie says, are you excited about Sim Update 4 coming out on Tuesday for Microsoft Flight Simulator? Apparently the weather radar will now reflect precipitation instead of clouds. Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, the weather radar was a bit overactive. No, I'm looking forward to it. I hope they fix the contrails. I hope they've changed the ground handling. And I hope they've changed the lateral navigation. Can I dream?
Easy, 18 Romeo reporting back.
Thanks.
I think this is all working out. All working out. Yeah, it's nice having an airplane that can dive like this.
Trans 276 maintain speed 290 knots.
Sorry, say again for Eurotrans 276?
Trans 276 maintain speed 290 knots.
290 knots, Eurotrans 276. 290, 290, 290. Okay, a little bit fast. Okay, I think that's alright. We'll be alright at 290. Let's just do a little bit of level change. Just to make sure we definitely make the head moss. A little bit of speed brakes. Oh, this is great. Plenty of fuel. Still, we've got through 8 tons of fuel, which is pretty impressive because we've only been flying for an hour. So it is a thirsty airplane, this. There's no doubt about it.
110 speed 160. Easy 18 Papa Kilo, just wanted to inform you that I had a disconnect, but I'm now back again.
Mark says, my current Microsoft Flight Simulator excitement list is the Turbo Archer and the PNG DC6. The videos look amazing. Yeah, I haven't seen the DC6, so I'm looking forward to that. And the Turbo Archer. Yeah, funny, I didn't know that was on the way. I usually get, well, not usually. We were lucky to get a preview of the Just Flight Arrow 3. So I was hoping we would get informed. There's level off.
276, contact Bremen, radar 123.225, bye-bye.
123.225, Eurotrans 276, bye-bye. 23225. But yeah, no, I'm excited about those airplanes as well, most definitely.
Seabed 9 contact, Tower 121.1, goodbye.
1C1.1 something. So the 86 is there now.
Here.
Bremen, hello, Lufthansa 7 Mike, with Beluga, climbing to flight level 160.
Lufthansa 7 Mike Whiskey, Bremen, hello, identified, climb flight level 360.
Climb flight level 360, Lufthansa 7 Mike.
Apologies everyone, just had to sort something out. We better check in. Control Eurotrans 276, flight level 170, 290 knots.
276, Bremen, hello, identified, reduced to 70 knots and descent flight level 80.
270 knots, descend flight level 80, Eurotrans 276.
276, direct Delta Papa 427.
Delta Papa 427, Eurotrans 276, expecting. Right.
17 Alpha, descent 3000 feet.
270 knots.
Going forward to 9, contact
Flight level 80.
12645, goodbye.
See if we can get all this right.
Contact 164.
Now, did you say direct or expect? I'm going to have to confirm that. Let's go to vertical speed.
Yeah.
1,000 feet per minute for now. We've got no problem on the heights. Because why would you say expect? Because it's on our arrival, so I think you said direct. Let's check. Sorry, for Eurotrans 276. Would you like us to route direct to Delta Papa 427?
Echo.
Thank you. Routing direct Delta Papa 427, Eurotrans 276. Always easy to check. Right, yeah, so because it didn't make any sense to say expect. Delta Papa 427, inserts, and off we go. That's looking good. We're doing 270 knots as requested, and we're descending to flight level 80. Happy days. Nice day here, lovely day. Cade, good to see you. Cade, I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for coming to join us. I hope things are going well in the States. Looks like they are. Looks like things are improving. Ed is sent to by the BN2 Islander. Ooh, who's making the BN2 Islander? I haven't seen that one. And Mark was indeed talking about the Turbo Arrow. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, the terrain on the display does look handwritten, Rosie. Yeah, I know. It does. I haven't solved whether this is real or not. Still don't know. Right, so we've done our descent, we've done our altimeters, we've done our approach briefing, auto brake, DH, FMS, we've done MBA, fuel, landing elevation, weather and memo all done, anti-ice altimeters, seatbelt, exterior lights, ignition. Oh, looking good. I think we're all ready to go. So, we're just going to have to be ready to be vectored off and rounded in. Keeping us high just for a nice gentle and hopefully relatively efficient descent.
So 441, descent flight level 200. Descent flight level 200.
Black box simulation, says Ed.
So 6 Hotel X-ray, descent flight level 120. 6 Hotel X-ray.
Air France 101, passing through flight level 200 for 170.
That's going to be from Microsoft Flight Simulator.
So 101,
Very interesting.
identified, descent flight
That could be good fun. Lots of nice places to take the Islander. Very slow. Will be the only thing. And we've obviously got the Aerosoft Twin Otter, hopefully coming soon. I don't know how soon it will be. PMDG is planning DC6 for June. 737 sometime between the end of summer and the end of the year. Finally, worthy opponent for the A320 Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. 77 would be nice. Now I've practiced flying in the next plane, I wouldn't mind flying it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Sunny day in Southern Cali. Oh, excellent, Cade. Yeah, very jealous. Nothing like that over here. Nothing at all. Cold, windy, wet and raining. You're still wearing your winter coat and sort of hats in May. It's one of the worst I've seen in a while. I hope it changes. Everyone here is hoping it changes. Still waiting with excitement for the Toliss A320 NEO plane, says Andy. Yeah, me too. I mean, it felt like it, you know, obviously it was a big announcement that was a long time away when it was announced, but now we must be getting a bit closer.
15450 for Scandinavia 267 HR. KLM 1359er, contact Praha radar 127125, goodbye.
Yeah, so Aerosoft Twin Otter and DC6, yeah, exciting stuff. DC6 will be very cool. I haven't used a big proper piston engine aeroplane on this channel before. And, you know, you all know, I've watched all of Ice Pilots quite recently, so a big fan of that sort of aeroplane nowadays. All 4 seasons per day in the UK, says Dave. Yeah, well, where I am, I haven't had all 4, I've had 3 of the seasons. Maxim says, it's very weird weather in the UK, it's not cold enough to wear a proper coat, but it's not hot enough for just a hoodie. I hate the weather currently, yeah, the weather now is frustrating. Ed would like some Islander videos, excellent, yeah. I can think of some good things to do with the Islander.
121-375, 121-375 Copenhagen. Danke, ciao. Scandinavian 2 Echo Charlie, order Cockpit for 2 minutes. 2 Echo Charlie, approved to Pushback. Departing and back to Scandinavian 2 Echo Charlie.
Right, let's think. What are we doing with the airports? So it's the BMS there. We're at 12,000 feet. I think we can get down a little bit better than this. Let's go for 1600. So from what I understand, the pilots of this Beluga, apparently they don't tend to use flight level change because it just dives too much. It's too much drag. It's just ridiculous. The problem with diving at those speeds that we saw earlier was that if there's any traffic beneath you, which is obviously more common than we have here in Vatsin, which is a bit quieter than real life, but if there's traffic beneath you, you'll just end up with a TCAS alert and they won't be very impressed. So yeah, we can expect that if we start diving up and down like we had been.
This is 51 identified again 340 Dunkirk. We have 276, descent altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1015, expect 26 left.
Send 4000 feet QNH 1015, expecting 26 left, Eurotrans 276. Controller's being very patient with us because sometimes they'll get upset because we could be in the way of departing traffic by staying up here like this. So, 4000 feet. For once, let's not forget the QNH. QNH 1016. No, 1015. 4000 feet. QNH 1015. There we go. Okay, so it's time you take that Maui vacation. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Ingo says, short term, I'm excited for the upcoming MD-11 for X-Plane. Yes, MD-11 for X-Plane. That is exciting as well. Yeah, we got some good heavies coming to X-Plane finally. I mean, this was the start of it really with the A320 and the Beluga. Right, 10,000 feet, landing lights coming on. We're on constraint, we've stayed on that the whole way. We shouldn't really have done that, but there we go. But yeah, I know, it's exciting times. You've got a lot to come. A lot to come. George says, yes, the A340 is a beautiful aircraft. It's so much underpowered. It climbs because you fly straight and the Earth is round. Yeah, yeah, it does look like that. Even the 340-600 does look like that, which is the one we're going to get. So I look forward to it. Excited for the 777, says Off the Ice. And 73, which should come out by the end of the year. 777 as well. I'll be impressed if they manage 3 in a year. But anything's possible. Yeah, I need to. So many airplanes to fly. I would like to fly that Turbo Arrow. That's definitely on the list. And definitely Twin Otter. I mean, all of those. See, this is the problem. I've got too many airplanes to fly. It's just too much fun. Right, 8,000 feet. Airfield's just off to our right. I say just. It's actually a bit of a distance away. I'm guessing that's it there. Yep, there's the 2 runways. Continue present heading, Eurotrans 276. So, click to align, heading select. No problem with the altitude again. Let's do 500 feet per minute. Let's do 800. 500 feet per minute is a little bit annoying for air traffic control, I think. And the Concorde, of course. Yeah, of course, we've got to land the Concorde. Oh my goodness. It's getting difficult to fit in these, you know, the regulars, the 7.5. I haven't flown the 7.5 for a while. I do like the Beluga. I do like the 7.5. We'll get that back in. 737-200. I haven't flown that for a while. Will P, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming along. Great to see you here. Jim says, should you have slowed to 250? I would have, but air traffic last told me to keep 270 knots. So the last instruction I got was 270, so I'll adjust it when they tell me otherwise. Yeah. If they tell me 270, I'll do that below 10,000 as well. I won't automatically slow to 250 because they've asked for it. Kate says, I saw a video of the startup from Cold and Dark on the MD-11 and what a long process that is. Yeah, that is my only concern with the MD-11. A bit like Concorde, it's going to be incredibly complicated, I think, for me personally. It's not an airplane I'm going to be used to. Oh yeah, of course, 747-200 Classic, Dave says. Yeah, we got that. That's equally going to be incredibly difficult. Pavel says, is it a good time to look for excuses now? Yes, it is. So, thank you for reminding me.
276, radio speed 250 knots, turn right heading 180.
250 knots, right heading 180, Eurotrans 276. Right heading 180. 250 knots, there you go. So air traffic control, they're all over it. If they tell you the speed, then I'm effectively leaving my speed control up to them. So 250 knots. Yeah, excuses. Well, the Beluga, we're always full of excuses. What does it normally do? It normally flares quite easily and floats along, and if there's any drift to remove, which there will be a little bit, it is very prone to a bit of roll, so we might see a bit of that. So that's my excuse. It's just difficult. Very lazy excuse today. Let's sort out the flight plan. Let's go direct. Takeoff. Insert. But luckily it won't actually do it because this airplane doesn't. It stays in heading select. which I assume is what heading /S stands for.
276, radio speed 160 knots, please set 3,000 feet.
160 knots and descend to 3,000 feet at Eurotrans 276. Okay, well that is quite a sudden speed reduction.
Quick, Eurotrans 276, for information, you can expect an intercept from the south to the localizer.
Okay, that's copy. Thanks, Eurotrans 276. Just confirm 160 knots for us now.
From 160 knots to 5, my final, please.
160 to 5, Eurotrans 276. No problem there. Makes sense. They're obviously sequencing us in. So now I'll reduce that vertical speed because it sounds like he wants us to slow down more than he needs us to get down. 3,000 feet is in. We're on the correct vertical profile. We just need to get the speed back. Minimum clean speed is 190 knots. Let us go to takeoff approach, final approach.
Eurotrans 276, turn right heading 290, cleared ILS approach runway 26 left.
Right heading 290, cleared ILS 26 left, Eurotrans 276. Very nice vectoring. So this is quite slick. You go 290, which is we're going to go slightly through, and then by the time we've turned around, we'll be coming up from the south. I've gone to flaps 1, so we've got slats 15 out. And we've got speed 160 selected, so let's go to... In fact, let's see, can we do 160? No, let's go for another stage of flap. Get a bit of flap out. Just the slats alone aren't good enough to get back to 160. Now pointing towards the runway, I'm going to press land, and there is lock start already. Glide slope is blue and arms. Nice vectoring from that controller. The glide slope's coming in, so this should work out quite nicely. Coming back to 160. Let's just check that DME. 12 miles, so we know we're about 11 miles from touchdown. Let's go to the progress page just to keep that. There you go, 11 miles. Good. my basic sums are still working for me. Let's check the go around altitude for that approach. So obviously we're going below the MSA now as we cleared on this approach. Going altitude is 5,000 feet. Let's put 5,000 feet in the window. Excellent. Right, so we've had our excuses. We have done the... Have we done the approach? Signs on, briefing confirmed, decamp status checked. Temperature is 1015, minimums are set both sides, and it is set to... Actually, we didn't set it both sides, we set it in here. It seems like it wants it to be on the window. There goes 670, which is actually 200. We can set 200 up here, why not? I wonder if it makes any difference. Maybe it'll talk to us. 200, so that's the red out one, obviously. 121.1, Eurotrans 276, thanks for your help, goodbye. And landing elevation is set. Okay, 1211, let's just check. We're doing 160 to 5, and we are... I'm going to say that's 5 from touchdown, because it... Oh, sorry, no, it could be 5 DME, which would be 4 miles from touchdown. 160 to 4, pretty normal. Yeah. Depends which DME they're basing that on. It's a bit of an interesting one. Probably a local procedure to work that one out. Tower Eurotrans 276, ILS 26 left at 7 miles. Copy Eurotrans 276. Okay. Let's not mess this up now, so I'll put the gear down. We're 6 miles from touchdown, so that's fine. The app is 134. Just have that in my mind. Ready? There we go. 800 feet above the ground, that's fine, so as long as we're configuring soon. 134, pretty slow. Oh, we just press land, which does glide slope and lock and go. Yep, does both. Excuses, the controls may get stuck. Yeah, that's actually a good one. Yeah, we'll go with that. Sorry you missed the last group flight, Ed. Yeah, we can do another one soon. They were a bit far apart. I didn't mean to leave them so far apart. Right, there's 5 miles. Let's put out the rest of the flap. Slow down. 134. And we're going 30 and 40, so all the flaps can come out. Got a lot of drag, so it's very easy to slow down. So look at that. Look at that speed reduction. You don't get that on the 320. I can promise you that. Arm the ground spoilers. Landing checklist. Landing gear is down, 3 greens. Auto brake is on low. Anti-skid is on. I wonder why I have to check that. Anyway, flaps are, I suppose because the ECAM isn't monitoring it. 30 and 40. Spoilers are armed. That's a landing checklist complete. Must remember, the auto thrust will close the thrust levers for us. We're supposed to, I believe, press... Let's just check it doesn't spool up. Toga as a limiting mode. There we go, in case we need to go around. And then I can press that little button, I believe. Sorry, can you say again for Eurotrans 276?
Yep, spin 24, so 3, 1, 3 knots, runway 26 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 26 left, Eurotrans 276, thank you. Okay, we're clear to land. All looking good, all very stable. Just trying to adjust my seats, that's another excuse ready. Oh, it's me kicking the rudder. Right, here we go then. Autopilot's off. Love the robot style voice on this one. Don't fiddle with the trim. Don't fiddle with the thrust, it's going to close itself. Seems to have lost the localizer there. How interesting, it's flashing at me. Though land mode has remained. Nice long runway here. And we're going to vacate to the left for DHL. Just hold it there. 5, keep holding it. There's touchdown. There you go, look at that. So easy to have that happen. Right, ground spoilers I'm hoping are up. Put out the reverses as well. So spoilers, reverses, they're not green, but they are reversing. Should be some lights. Going to put a bit of into data on just to keep that left wing down. And the brakes are taking their effect. Oh, we're going to come off here then, it seems. Yeah, there we go. Right, forward idle. That was a serious slowdown. Oh, no airplane, don't accelerate on us now. Well, we'll vacate left. There's all our colleagues. Fantastic. Straight ahead, gate of choice. Thank you very much, Eurotrans 276. Thanks for your help. And there we go. Welcome to Leipzig. How did that one work out? Butter confirmed. There we go. We'll take that. Not much more we can do. Fantastic. Always a joy. That was our stopping distance. No trouble because we're just so light. We're parked next to that speed. No, we'll park next to this Lufthansa in front. Get ourselves parked up quickly. Right, let's get rid of some of the lights. Bring in those flaps. Oh, there's a CRJ. Don't see those very often. Start up the APU. Landing lights can... They are retracting as well. Good stuff. Flaps are in. Speed brakes can disarm. That would have cooked those brakes a little bit, I imagine. Brilliant landings let us do. There we go. Well, it's just sometimes it works out. We had a bit of room. 52 meters wingspan. I hope we're below that. I know the 320 is 36. I'm not sure what this one is. It looks like it would fit though. AP spooling up in the background. So guys, thank you so much for coming along today. Thanks to those who flew along. And we will of course be looking at the replay very shortly. Thanks Richard Tango. The controller, the controller's doing a great job for us today, absolutely. Lauren B says, Mansa 256 unfortunately already disconnected Air France behind you with the last of our colleagues. Excellent. Is the Air France landed? Can't see them. Let's take 408. Oh, there's the Air France. Don't worry about the brake pads, they're free in flight sims. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Rosie. Glad you enjoyed the flight, E-Boss. Thanks for coming along. You're very welcome, Victor Tango. Thank you all for coming along. Really appreciate it. Now, do we want to see the cargo unloading or do we want to see the replay? What do you guys fancy? George Trouble, glad you came along. And thanks for coming, yeah. Oh, I like seeing the shadow of the forehead up there. Slow it down a bit. This feels like a sensible place to stop. Excellent. Right. Oh yeah, we don't go any more further forward. Those wings are just about going to go over those red lines. Cargo. We want the cargo and the replay. Right. So let us. APU is online. Generators are online. So we can shut down those engines. Or replay then unload, says Andy. Now that's a good idea. Let's do that. Yep, we'll do that one. I like it. So we're going to do the replay. We'll do a couple of replays and then I'll play the music while it's unloading. How about that one, guys? How does that sound as a plan? Elise Maggie says we come to simulate. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of the replay and I'll leave it unloading with the music in the background. I think that's a nice plan. I like the sound of that. Let's see how it works anyway. We will be flying the Beluga again. You guys know it. Especially if I can get a nice neon pink livery attached to this. I need to get the paint kit and have a go. So here's a landing then into the flare. I flared a little bit high, which caused this sort of float. Floating along. Just keeping the flare. Yeah, but then that wing lift. So tiny wind from the left. And you get... it doesn't take any sort of crosswind in this airplane to get that wing lift. And you see me put in the aileron. Oh, not like that. There we go. So I pretty much did no drift correction because it was the airplane's close enough, a couple of degrees off. But maybe I should have done. But it's funny, you can see me immediately have to put in that aileron. There's touchdown and then aileron coming up. Yeah. Let's have the runway view, of course. I do enjoy this view. Makes the airplane look really big, really special, which it is, of course. It deserves it. Here we come. Yeah, I like the stripe across the forehead as well. I think that's pretty cool. Andy says, I think Manta Classic would look good on this. Very reminiscent of the Super Cuppa. Yeah, I agree. I could see that. Yep. We will do the cargo battery too, don't worry. Into the flare. Nice long touchdown zone. No trouble fitting it in. Still had 2 more markers. Sometimes it just works out like that. You just end up with more room than you think, which is always appreciated. Last replay, I promise, because normally I'd show you this one for the with the music. I quite like this view. This is sort of a view out the window on the side. Everyone enjoying the plan. Yeah, thanks for that plan, Andy. It was a great idea. And there we go. Yeah, it's a cool view. Just to be so low, to be low at the same level as the engine on a landing airplane is quite fun. Quite fun. And those spoilers didn't deploy until I actually put the thrust levers into reverse, I noticed. They wouldn't deploy on their own. They wouldn't a 320 as long as you idled it, whereas this one I had to put it into reverse. A bit unusual. But there we go. Right, let us zoom back to the gate. Done with the replay. Engines are turning off. Very powerful replay tool in this. Now I did park on a pretty bad stand for it, but we're going to manage anyway. And just got a notification there. Oh yeah, we disconnected from Vatsim, of course. Thanks for your subscription, Nicholas Watson. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Now we'll go to ground ops, of course. Ground services. Let's get those chocks in, and let's get the loader. Request a loader. It's going to appear in front of us. Let's go and open up. Somebody's job must be checking all this happens. Oh no, we left it open for the landing. No problem there. So we can turn on the lights out here. What I'll do is I will make sure that it does unload and you guys can enjoy it. And I'm going to say thank you all for coming along. I really appreciate it. Thank you to those who've just flown along. Thank you for just watching at home and chatting. Even if you haven't chatted, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. It's great to have you all with us for the flight. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for those very kind donations. And thank you to the moderators, of course, for taking the time to come along and moderate and keep us all happy. And, oh, beacon can turn off as well, actually. Yeah, I just really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for coming along. Let's get some air on. And what I'm going to do now is start the music, and I will maybe fiddling around with the simulator just to keep the cameras in the right place and make sure we see it unload. So thank you all for coming along, and we will see you guys for another live stream or video very soon. Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I've got a few plans for this week with a couple of live streams I want to do in a few different airplanes, of course. So yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you again very soon. Keep safe and well. Bye bye.